Oh man, Eagles. That's where we're going today. Oh man, Eagles. Hit the like button. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Philadelphia's #1 show right here is what we do weekly, Monday through Friday. You know why? It's the only show that tells you exactly the way it is. It's the only one that's not a glazed donut. And the guy who personifies that more is M. Reyes, who, guess what? He should be over with Bill Cunnilingus, but he's not. Okay? He's not over there. He's here because he knows the truth is being spoken here, or he'd be over there walking around on his knees on that Cunnilingus show in 97.5 in Philly. He'd be rolling around with Big Bill, or he'd be sitting around with one of those weak-ass shows on IP. Instead, he's here Monday through Friday. Why? Because this is the only place that you can go back and forth with the host. That's it. That's why we, and like Zander said before, the Eagles want this show to go away. They don't want this show around because we point out their stupid bullshit. Good organization. No doubt about it. Howie's one of the, listen, all things can be true. Howie's one of the top general managers in all of pro football. He's one of the top general managers in all of sports. No one's debating that. But you can be the best and still fuck up. You're not subject to nod and criticism. When you do a bad move like Nolan Smith, or a Smith move that doesn't pan out, you get criticized for it. Hey, welcome to the big leagues. What do you think this is like? Not ripping on high school kids? This is professional football. It's professional sports, college sports now. Kids getting $4 million. You kick their ass too when they fuck up. Don't sit there and talk to me about like, well, you know, okay, he's like immune to any kind of criticism. That's bullshit. Bill Belichick got fired in New England after 20 spectacular years as the head coach and operations manager of the New England Patriots. With the legendary success that he had, he was blown out. If you could fire a guy like Bill Belichick, you could fire Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, or any of them other dudes. Andy Reid got fired in Philly. Don't talk to me about criticism. Everybody is open to it. Hey, he gets his flowers. We talked about his shitty ability not to draft edge rushers. Well, that's a fact. And he still hasn't addressed it. We're not going to bang on that today. We've already done enough of that. Okay? And everyone knows. And by the way, there's not a guy in this upcoming NFL draft outside of the kid Bailey and maybe Ruben Bain from the University of Miami that will have a shot at changing the game for you. Either you trade for somebody like a Max Crosby, or you trade for Jonathan Grenard, who's basically Jalen Phillips 2.0. Think about that. If you trade for Jonathan Grenard, it's Jalen Phillips 2.0 with more draft picks that you're going to give up, and you're going to pay the 30. Why didn't you just pay the guy? Like I said, I wouldn't have paid him, but I would have paid him if I didn't have a plan. And you don't have a plan. So here's where you are. Oh, by the way, I love Eagle fan immediately. Elijah Moore now? Elijah Moore. Seriously, you're hanging your hat that that's a great sign? It's a dude sign. Here, let me give you the numbers on the kid. Elijah Moore, 535 yards and 43 catches, 446, 640, 538, and 112 yards. And he was the 34th pick in the NFL draft. The guy's a fucking bust. He's an underachieving football player. End of story. I know you think you're probably going to have a reclamation project. You couldn't turn Jahan Dotson around because the quarterback is incapable of finding wide receiver number 3. You think you're going to change Elijah Moore's fortunes in Philly? How? Where? Based on what? Where's the litmus test that Hurts has made anybody in the number 3 spot, if you are keeping AJ, that you're going to make the number 3 wide receiver better? And where in 6 years have you shown that you're going to take a guy like Elijah Moore and turn him into a star? And the underachiever that he is right now as a player. Tell me. Hey, and let's go to this. So you signed a guy who's AJ's buddy? What kind of practice is that? You signed a guy who is his buddy from Ole Miss. And I've never seen anything like it. So you got on the sidelines, you got Big Dom on the sidelines because the head coach can't control himself and his emotions. And now you got a babysitter in Elijah Moore because A.J. Brown at times is a Fruit Loop? What kind of fucking knowledge? What sense is that? That's not making your team better. You look stupid doing that. I mean, you signed Elijah Moore, who's a nothing player. Just nothing. Let's get to Kyle. Supers go to the top. Thank you, guys. Sills, can you check out Bledsoe report on Chris Bell? See if he got same skill set as AJ, not the player. Gotcha. I will. I'm getting a new Bledsoe on Friday. So hopefully that gets here Thursday night, and I'll be able to talk about it more on Friday. Yeah, I mean, you signed Elijah Moore for what? So here's your wide receiving core. If AJ, and I'm saying it, and I'm still saying it, is gone to New England for a 1 and a 3, your wide receiving core is Devontae Smith, Hollywood Brown, and Elijah Moore. Holy shit. That sounds like the Bills. And that's going to make Jalen Hurts better? How does that wide receiving core make him better? With a new coordinator who has never called a play. I mean, help me out here. What? What is argumentative? The fact he's never called a play? Or Elijah Moore is a guy who underachieved? Is the part of the Phantom Handshake deal that happened in a cabin or woods? No, I got it from the executive of the New England Patriots. That's where I got it from. Oh, wait. Where'd you get yours from? I still got the text message from the director of pro personnel. Where's yours? Where is yours that you're saying it's Phantom? I got a text message from the director of player personnel. Where's your source? Let me guess. Under Howie's desk. After AJ drops, you guys have made that 49er game seem like AJ drops or something. It's absurd. It's one game. One game in 4 years. You're making that 49er game. That was a character game for A.J. Brown. That wasn't an indictment on his career in Philly. T.O. drops the ball. A.J. Brown doesn't drop the ball. T.O. had a propensity to drop footballs. A.J. Brown doesn't. In 24, he had 0 drops. Last year, he had 4. And yet, you're making that 49er game seem like, this guy drops footballs every day, which is not true. Yes, Hills, there were 4 plays that failed. Not one drop. Listen, it's not what I'm saying. You're not listening. what you're doing in Philly is, and I said this towards the end of the year, you guys will start turning A.J. Brown into an asshole, and you'll make him seem like he's a cancer in the locker room, and yet I've never heard another player in the Philadelphia Eagles locker room ever talk shit or ever deny anything that A.J. Brown said. Have you? I don't hear anybody in the locker room saying that A.J. Brown's a cancer. I don't hear anybody saying he's wrong. Do you? So if you tell the truth and you don't like the truth, just like we tell you, you think he's making bullshit up and he's a cancer. Oh, I see. It's because you don't like what he's saying. I told you this before. Everybody in life would rather be lied to than told the truth, especially football players. You don't want to hear the truth. You suck. We're cutting you. Or we're drafting somebody in place of you. That's what it is. Hey, look, when you play in that league and a coach calls you in, like when I played in that league, those guys aren't kind to you. I'm going to fucking tell you right where you are. I'm drafting another player in your position. Be prepared to challenge and have a role in this where you're going to battle for the left defensive tackle position. That's what pro football is, dude. If they can hire somebody at a cheaper cost and get your ass out of there, they'll do it. What do you think? They like paying high salaries? You misunderstood. They had 4 plays to make, 1 first down. Can't put it on AJ. Pietas, thank you. Yes, you're right. Especially that 4th down play that they all sat over on the sidelines looking like morons. Sills, I think Puka needs some serious help because he's facing allegations. That guy is a fucking idiot. If he said that thing about the Jewish community and he said that stuff about all that, bro, why? What's the end game? Seriously, what's the end game? You know, I tell you what, I said things and I've done things and I got older. I said things and I'm stupid for doing it. So when you're dumb and doing stupid shit, I mean, listen, this guy's not a bad guy. He's just a dope. That's right. That's low IQ bullshit. It is more offensive to the team and fan base that AJ mentally checked out versus physically declined. I'm going to do something one more time to you guys, and I want you to understand. By the way, we're working on getting Scott Pioli on the program, one of the greatest talent evaluators of all time, and we're working on getting him on the program. And I'm going to show you something one last time here on A.J. Brown. And I want you to keep this in your mindset when you're talking about the player and why all of a sudden you're acting shocked. I pointed this out to you. And I continue and I always go back to this. In his pre-draft profile, it said this about A.J. Brown. Drops appear when focus declines. This was in 2000. What is this? This was in 2018 when he was drafted, and that has never changed. Players don't change that mentality, my friends. It's like it's like stripes on a zebra. You think you're going to change him into a horse? He's still a fucking zebra. It is more offensive to the team. Yeah. They would try to be mad at how AJ handled the problem, then be mad at the problem in the passing game. Of course, because it deflects off of Hurts. You understand what you've done here. You're taking a shit on AJ. He's lost a step. He drops passes. How about the fucking quarterback who stinks at progression reading and being able to read a defense? How about that bullshit? Hurts getting a free pass. Hurts gets a free pass. Okay, he does. Flexing. Was Puka even thinking though? Because, dude, Puka Nacua needs to shut his face. He does. He needs to shut his face. So did Sam Darnold. If AJ is on the team this year, this team will implode. If AJ's on this team or if AJ's not on this team, this team's imploding. You're winning 7 games. You haven't done dick in the offseason here. What have you done that is noteworthy? What have you done that's noteworthy? Help me out here. What have you done externally that is noteworthy? Help me out here. Anybody? What have you done? What have you done? What have you done? Okay, what have you done? You signed a guy who was cut by the Seahawks. And if you can hear externally. So you signed a guy from the Seahawks that was cut. Hollywood Jackson. Jesus criminy, man. These are lofty reaches for excellence. You signed a guy who was cut, and you signed a guy who is, what is he, 29? Okay. Really? So you signed a guy who's better than Adoree. Really? Well, guess what? He was cut. He was cut. The Seahawks, and he lost his job. He lost his job. Okay? Lost his job. So, get this. Now he's changed. So fucking what? Now he's hired. Great. You hired someone's trash can. Wrong dude to ask. Seals, the Eagles have to be prepping for something big with all the restructures. No way the draft picks cost $32 million. Book it just like last year when I said 11 wins. Delayed Goddard cap hit progress. Yeah, I guess. Jalen Knights are like those stupid-ass LeBron, the GOAT people. They try to diminish anybody else in a fucking, that's right, in a dick-headed attempt at deflecting blame from their beloved bum. Yes. All free agents are cut, asshole. Okay. So let's see. Jalen Phillips, did you want him? Did you want him? Super Bowl MVP. So's Nick Foles. Nick Foles is no one elite. Devontae's too small. And if he was like that, why isn't Devontae the number one and AJ the 2 in 4 years? Devontae is a Robin because he's AJ leaves it completely. Hey, Damon, Devontae Smith has never been a number one. And if they thought he was going to be a number one, it's time to move off AJ now, isn't it? I want to show you something else. So how many years left do you think you have with this offense? Yeah. Guy was cut, made $180 and $120 million in guarantees and $30 million large. Your guy that you signed made $12 million on a 1-year prove-it contract. A little different, don't you think? Hey, Marsh, my boy signed a $180 million deal. Your guy just signed a 1-year prove-it deal. He didn't sign no 3-year contract. Oh, Phillips' service is no longer needed because you're mighty rich at edge. You had the same edge rushers going into the season a year ago. You realized that they were stiffs. You had to go get a guy, didn't you? Or did I imagine Jalen Phillips on your football team a year ago? Did I imagine that? That's what Uche Kuche and Ojalara. Fucking stiffs. Hey, this is quite a wide receiver group. Hollywood Jackson and Elijah Moore. Two of the most underachieving players in NFL draft history. Hey, okay. How many years do you think you have with this offense left? Oh, let's do a PSA. Sorry, guys, but many of you in here are not going to be able to hang in here with me all the way until the draft. So do me a favor, leave now. Just go ahead, because this is not for you. And I don't want to hear any moaning and crying. Oh, you were nobody. You did. Whatever. Get the fuck out. Okay? If you can't handle it. I didn't realize Messidor, a little old for me. I'm with you, intern. I am. All right. How many more years do you think this offense has? I want to read something to you. You ready? But wait, real quick. Hey, let me ask this douchebag here. How many years do you think the offense has left as a group? Damon, you got 1 year? Pietis, you got 1 year? Jalen Hart did not start the season. Hey, 1 year? How many? 3 years. Okay. For the 26th season, please dial the Eagles hotline number 1-800 Jalen sucks. Morgan & Morgan isn't picking up the phone. The Eagles will win 7 games. Big silly. There you go. Yep. Book it. By the way, like I said, ever since I've been on the air here in Philly, I've had one awful year and was 24. The other ones, grand slam dunk years. Slam dunk. Slam dunk. 22, I told you go to the Super Bowl. You did. 23, I told you M. Reyes was giving you all these fucking kudos at 10-1 that you would implode. You did. 24, great year. 25, I told you win 11 games, and I said that your football team would be one and done. And here we are again. Here we are again. All right, I want to show you something. This is all at the start of the season. Jalen Hurts will be 28. Barkley, 29. AJ, 29. Devontae, 27. Hollywood Brown, 29. Goddard, 31. Mulata, 28. Landon, 28. Cam, 27. Steen, 26. And Lane Johnson, 36, for an average of 29 years of age. M. Reyes said, I choose to go to him when I feel like it, because it makes me look like Einstein. So the more I go to some of you guys, the more it makes me look better because he's a fucking imbecile. With all the changes at O-line, the quarterback one will be taking some real shots this year. Trust me, the more we go to M. Reyes, that's because I'm going to an imbecile. Sills, you also said we would win less games and be a better team. I said you'd win 11 games, and you were the better team in the NFC East. Thank you. Let's see here. Fred Einstein, maybe. Hey, Steve, we were right on about almost every single personnel move you made. The defensive ends you signed were fucking garbage. The fucking Keely Ringo experiment was a garbage experiment. The Sidney Brown guy was a complete bust. I mean, what are you talking about? Jelix Hunt would be better than Nolan Smith. Many of you wanted to pay him $25 million. I said Cooper DeJean would make first team All-Pro. Win 11 games. Get bounced in the opening round. You said be better team than a Super. I never fucking said that. When you took a blowtorch to your defense, I said you'd be a better team than your Super Bowl team. Fake news. Just wait. If AJ stays, then Jalen not playing. They both can't be there together again. Okay? Okay. Sills, Lane Johnson is pumped, says, Mannion is Steichen 2.0. Do you agree? No, I don't. How the fuck does Lane Johnson know what Sean Mannion's game plan is in his playbook? How in the world do they know? How in the world do they know that? Does he know that? When he's never called a play and never had a playbook in his mind. Ever. Like, how? Here's your defense. Moro Jomo, 25. JD. How do you know? Well, let's take a look at the first-time play callers that you've had in Philly that never called a play. Let's take a look at that. Let me double check one thing first. Let me take a look here before I make this comment. So let's see here. Let's take a look here. I want to let's see here. Before I make that, let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see here. Let's see. That's right. That's right. Shane Steichen was an offensive coordinator before. Every single fucking guy that's never called a play has been a bum in Philly. That's never called a play. Brian Johnson, not so bad. KP, two guys that never called plays, both fired. Got another guy. Steichen called plays. He was a coordinator in San Diego. Great. Now your new level is getting to the playoffs. Not a shocker. Biggest bum coach is the head coach. So here, let me go over here on the defensive side. 25, 26, 25, 25. Bond's 29. Campbell's 22. Hunt's 25. Woolen's 27. Epps is 30. McCuber's 23. Q 25. Cooper's 23. Average age, 26 years of age. This is the last. So let me ask you this. So you're changing the entire offensive coaching staff and the approach of how you're going to approach a game with a team that won't be intact in 2 years. Why? With the same personnel, you're changing your coaching staff for what? And your philosophy for what? An offense, personnel-wise, that won't be here in 2 years? Within the next 3 years, that entire offensive line, except for Malata, will be gone. They'll be completely gone. Lane's not how many people believe Lane Johnson's got another year? How many people believe that? That 2026 is his final season. People believe that. You're changing the offensive philosophy of what got you to 50-18 in 4 years for unit, personnel-wise, that won't be intact. Let's play a game. Okay? Let's play a game. Let's play a game here. Let's go over to here. Let's go to the Eagles here. All right. I'm going to leave the quarterback out of our discussion. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for the supers. Let's just get this. Let's talk about the underachieving offense and not the overachieving defense. Is that a fair comment? Do you think that's a fair comment? The last 2 years? No, not the last 2 years. Do you think that's a fair? Well, I think that's a fair comment because they were one-dimensional last year and they ran the ball exceptionally well and they sucked throwing the ball the last 2 years. So, I mean, we're going to leave out the quarterback for a different discussion. Okay? We're going to leave that out. And I'm going to show you something at the start of the 2028 season. By the time the 2028 season starts, where you are right now on March 25th, this is not old revisionist history. This is not an old conversation. This is fucking right now and looking at what your GM is going to do in the next 2 seasons. Okay. All right? And by the way, we're going to open it up to everybody here, not fucking just a couple imbeciles. So, do you believe Saquon Barkley will be on the starting lineup in 2023? Yes or no? September of 2028. Do you believe that Saquon Barkley will be on this football team at 31 years of age? Actually, 32. At 32. See, 29, 30, it's 31. 31 years of age. At the start of the 28th season, will he be on this team making $20 million? Yes or no? No. Okay. Let's go here. Will A.J. Brown be on the Eagles at the start in September of 2028? Yes or no? Willie. Okay. Wide receiver 1. Will Devontae Smith be on this team at the start of 2028? in September? Yes or no? I agree. Yes. Will Hollywood Brown be on this football team at the start of 2028? Yes or no? Okay. Let's do another one. Will Dallas Goedert be on this football team at the start of 2028 in September? Okay. Will Jordan Mailata be the starting left tackle for the Eagles in 2028 in September? Yes. Okay. Okay. Will Landon Dickerson be on the starting lineup in 2028 in September? Okay. Will Cam Jurgens be on the starting lineup in 2 years in 2028 in September? I say no. Will Tyler Steen be the starting right guard in 24 months from today? Will he be the starting guard? Let's do it that way. 24 months from today. Do you think he's the starting guard? I don't. I'm not sure he's starting guard this year if you drafted lineman. And here's the final one. Lane Johnson, we're not even going to ask the question. So in 24 months from today, you got to replace 10 players. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because we didn't even talk about the quarterback. You got to place 8 players in the next 24 months. And you said this. I didn't. On that offense. 8 of the 11 players, not even counting the quarterback, you're going to replace in 24 months. And you're a Super Bowl contender? Based on what? Based on what? Based on what? You can't draft a number 1 wide receiver to save your life. And now you're trying to push Devontae into that role. We're going to find out. Howie Roseman has never drafted a number 1 wide receiver. You think he is, but he hasn't been in that role yet. We'll find out. In Howie's 25 years as the head man of personnel, he's not drafted 1 wide receiver that's a number 1. Ever. You're assuming Devontae will be that. All right, yep, D-Jax counts. Yes, sir. Deshaun Jackson. 25 years, Deshaun Jackson. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Deshaun Jackson. Okay? 25 years of GMing. Okay? One for 25 years? Okay, you think that's fine. Okay. 8 players. Hey, so I'll ask the question again. Do you think the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles is a Super Bowl contending team when in the next 24 months you're going to be replacing 8 players on offense? Yes or no? And you guys just did this exercise. You're the ones that said this, not me. I asked the questions. So wait a minute. You're a Super Bowl contender, but in the next 24 months, you're replacing 8 of 11 starters. How does that make sense? You're replacing your entire offense. So wait, what are you basing that on? Oh, so you believe in the next 18 months, you're hitting on every guy. 24 months, you're hitting on every draft pick. Like, you're hitting on every draft pick. Every guy you draft, you're hitting on 8 players, a running back, a wide receiver 1. Oh, you think you're going to slide 8? I got it. A wide receiver 2 and 3, then a tight end, a left guard, a center, a right guard, and a right tackle. Every draft pick from, by the way, you got 1 draft in the first round and a 2 and a 3. I mean, you don't have that many fucking draft picks to cover in the next 24 months. Your math doesn't add up. Oh, and let's not forget something. You spent 250 in the last 2 years. Actually, last year and this year, you'll spend $500 million on the offensive side alone in salaries. $500 million in the offense in the last 2 years going into 26. $500 million. $250 million for that offense. Not every NFL football team's a contender. Daily reminder that you're on what? Backtracking on fucking what? I'm talking about where you are today on March 25th. What in God's name are you talking about? Good God. Bro, again, anybody that puts that there hates what we're saying. This is not for you. Please, you can't be here because this is not a show for you, guy. You need glazed donut fucking radio or another show. It's just not fucking for you. A.J. Brown and Hurts will single-handedly generate enough ammo to reload on offense in the stack 27 draft. So you think you're going to hit on rookies on that side of the ball at 8 positions? Well, you're a glazed donut with Dak. Dak's a really good player. Who from our defense that was left the last couple of years are you paying over our offensive players that have got paid? Well, I'll tell you what, instead of paying that 10 fucking million bucks to Dallas Goedert, I would have fucking kept the guy Josh Sweat. And instead of giving Dotson any kind of cash, I'd have given the rest of that cash to Sweat too. That's who I would have kept. 19 million bucks. Howie misjudged the market because now the edge rushers are 30 million. They've gone up $11 million in salary. Jalen Phillips is not a better player than Josh Sweat, and he's got knee concerns too. I mean, the guy is making 19.7. In today's market, that's a fucking steal. Okay. Why don't you hold the Eagles to a standard that isn't? Why do you hold the Eagles to a standard that isn't met by other teams in the league? Because you do. It's Super Bowl or bust. Because you do, Marshall. I'm holding you and the team to the same standard you hold them to. Or do you not? I mean, wait a second here. Okay. You don't have Super Bowl or bust? I think they have been really good since 21. But I also would say this. Let's take a look at that. And let's do this since 21. Let's go back here. Okay? Let's see this here. 2021. Eagles year to year. Let's go back here, 2021. Okay. Since 2021. Okay. Now, let's go 22. Let's see how many offensive 22, 23, 24, 25. You got 26 coming up. It'll be 5 years. Let's see how many offensive players you've drafted since the Devontae Smith draft that have been starters in 5 years. Okay, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Coming up in 2000 or in about 29 days is the draft. Let's see how many offensive players you've drafted since 22. Okay. Cam Jurgens, 1. Steen, 2. Okay. You haven't drafted an offensive guy since 23. Okay. That's good drafting. There's no doubt. And now you have to start pivoting because you got a 30-year-old team as a unit. Now you have to go heavy offense. Because you just got through telling me in the next 2 years you're replacing that entire unit by the time September 20. You fucking said it. Holy Mickey Mouse takes. Sills. Hella backtracking again. What are we backtracking on? Why the fuck are you worried about 28? Because your general manager is. Bro. Thank you for the super. You're a fucking dumbass. Let the Eagle organization take care of it. I'm sure teams rebuild from the ground. Bro, you sound like the Jets. Let's see here. Drafting on the side of the ball is flawed. Yeah. Get this. Okay. So if you're worried about 20, you're worried about 26. What have you done in 26? What have you done? You got a fucking D plus so far in fucking building your team. How's 26 going? Why don't you answer M. Reyes' 26? How do you think 26 is going? With your team with signings in these like 1 year guy deals. How do you think you're doing? Tariq Woolen, you signed a guy who was fired and lost his job in Seattle. Jalen Phillips didn't lose his job in Philly. To Marshall's point, he didn't lose his job in Philly. Tariq Woolen lost his gig in Philly or in Seattle. And Reyes, you're finished today, bro. Only dude in football media rage baiting 2 years in advance. Only guy in Philly that tells you where you are now, where you need to go in a couple years. And the decisions that you're going to make now are going to affect your future. Don't you know how a football team is built? Or do you think this is bubblegum card? I mean, seriously. Oh, now Phillips is injury prone. And you were prepared to pay him $27.5? Really? Get this. Handle the truth? Guy, I pointed out the truth. You're the one here every day. It's only March. He says this same shit every year. It was only March a year ago, and you did dick. All depth move is going to be Timu. Tariq Woolen is going to be only one with some real impact, especially, and everything is in depth. It looks it right now. Nobody knows what this team's going to be like this year. That one team has a roster that's set. Hey, Marin, that's not, if you're comparing yourself to the Jets or the Carolina Panthers, I thought you were comparing yourself to the Seahawks or the Rams. Eagles offense being held together with bubblegum and tape. I'd play a prop bet that Fred Johnson gets more snaps than Lane Johnson this coming year. I think that's a great bet. I think that's a great bet that he gets more snaps than Lane Johnson. If Hurts can't run the play action offense, what do, Sills? Die on the vine. That's your boy. What do you mean? You can't sit him? You can't bench him? You've never heard me say bench Hurts. You're tied into that guy for the 2 years at least. You know what, too, Pietis, doesn't make sense? I would run that offense and Jalen Hurts into the ground. To Dingbat Reyes' take, they won 11 games last year. Now you're taking a chance of winning no games with an offense that the quarterback can't handle? Or you think he can? Okay. Sills, we're living through the consequences of Howie's actions to build the winners over the past 4 years. We're hamstrung by the financials. You are a victim of your success. I'll totally agree with that. You're a victim of the offensive guys' success because they've been so dominant that their play has been so good for the last 6 years, and the salaries have gobbled up the salary cap and the roster. That's exactly true. One side of the ball is being built, and it's a top-heavy salary cap, and it's a top-heavy roster and payroll. And it's based on one side. And they've got to somehow try to, in the next couple of years, look at the Timu signings at wide receiver. These guys are nobodies. They're underachieving, low salary. The guy you just signed, Elijah Moore, he's on a league minimum deal. You notice every guy you sign is no money for the last 2 years? And this is what you fall on. Well, we can't sign everybody. You're not signing anybody. You're not signing anybody. You turn around and you gave Jordan Davis $26/22 million. Okay. Who else have you signed in 24 months? In the past 24 months, who have you signed externally to bring into the Eagles? That's to make the team better with any significance. Who? Here, NFL draft. How did Bakuba and Jahad Campbell, how much impact did they have on your team last year? Campbell good. Bakuba none. Got hurt. showed signs of being good. I saw signs of Nolan Smith being good. Guy was constantly hurt and underachieved. Right. There was no. How about all those old linemen you signed? They had zero impact. Campbell was the rookie of the year defensively. John Campbell was the rookie of the year defensively. John Campbell won the rookie of the year defensively. Made up story as usual. How could a guy be in the rookie of the year conversation when he got benched? They shown promise. You mean potential? Okay. All right. Let's go to another topic. If you can handle it. Okay, let's do AJ here. By the way, Battle Royale, 4:30, Big Z will be with us at the bottom of the hour. Please hit the like button here. Hey, that's part of why Nakobe Dean's not here, dude. He's not here because of injuries. Are you under the impression that that's not part of an evaluation? Ask Nakobe Dean why he's a Raider. All right. So A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is at his highest point left in his career for you. If you don't move him on June 1 or 2, you might as well just make him an Eagle for life. Because you're never going to get the return on the player. Ever. It's now or never. So you're kind of caught in the middle here. The guy's a dick. He hates the offense. He doesn't hate Hurts. But what he hates is he hates the offense because he sees his numbers have diminished the last 2 years. First 2 years he was in Philly, he had 3,000 yards. Last 2 years he's had 2. And he's no longer an elite player. And you got people questioning his ability to be whether or not he's a frontline guy anymore. By the way, if you guys remember what I told you, wide receivers come and go. I don't really give a shit about the wide receiver position. I don't think you win football games with the wide receiver position. I think you win football games running the ball and playing great defense. If you look at I'll show you something here. Here's something else here. I want to show you something on the highest paid wide receivers in the league. Okay, let's go to Spot Track. Okay, let me show you a point here. This kind of goes down the same line as edge rushers. Jamar Chase is the highest paid wide receiver in pro football. Actually, it's JSN. JSN wasn't making that money when he won the Super Bowl. So this is after the fact. Jamar Chase, $40 million. Never been to he's never won a Super Bowl. Justin Jefferson, $35 million. Has never won a Super Bowl. CeeDee Lamb, number 3, $34 million. Has never won a Super Bowl. DK Metcalf, $33 million. Has never won a Super Bowl. Jarrett Wilson has never won a Super Bowl. Is sitting at number 5. Terry McLaurin's number 32. He's number 6. Never won a Super Bowl. A.J. Brown, $32 million, 1. Ahmad St. Brown, never won a Super Bowl, 8. Brandon Ayuk, $30 million. Tyreek Hill, $30 million. Remember, Tyreek didn't sign that deal till he went to Miami. So Brandon Ayuk at 30. T. Higgins, never won a Super Bowl. Jalen Waddle, never won a Super Bowl. Let's also show you something else. Okay? DK Metcalf has been traded how many times now? Seattle, Pittsburgh, twice. Once. Here. Devontae Smith is 13th in payroll. How many times has he been traded? Jets, Raiders, Rams. Devontae Adams, excuse me. How many teams has Stephon Diggs been traded to? Hell, even Mike Evans has now been traded. If you're a top flight wide receiver, that's not a surefire thing your offense is going to deliver Super Bowls. Adams. Still said the 49ers have one of the best GMs, but they signed Brandon Ayuk. He never played for them. Brandon Ayuk never played for the San Francisco 49ers? He's never played for the San Francisco 40 Players. Brandon Ayuk has never played for the 49ers. Sills, if Hurts can run the West Coast scheme, we can get by with lesser at wide receiver because the scheme works. The running game. So the first game of the year will be played on a Wednesday. Is that right? I don't know that. So again, here, if you don't trade AJ now, okay, what's the point of trading him and not extending him? If you keep him till next year, you'll get a 3. A 3 and maybe a 5. Maybe. Is that what you want to do? A 3's not going to help you. Why not now? Is it better to get... By the way, if you don't have A.J. Brown on that team, you're not a Super Bowl contending team. You're caught in the middle here. Devontae Smith will never, ever be as good as A.J. Brown. Thanks, Leon, for the super. Okay, wait. That's a good question. How many people in here think Devontae Smith will be a better ball player than A.J. Brown? Hey, and for the record, he's gone June 2nd. How many people believe that Smitty will be better than A.J. Brown as a player? Based on what? You do? Okay. I know people are saying this. Devontae Smith will never be a better talent than A.J. Brown. Define better? I have to game plan that guy because that guy tortures my secondary. Or how about this? I'll just use the defining words. A motherfucker. If Smitty gets AJ's attention, he's getting knocked out of games. By the way, he doesn't play against the number 1 DBs. He's a 2 guy. It's a whole different room when you're thrust into the number 1 spot. Run all the better. Hey, Adam Thielen runs better routes than A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson. Does that make him a better ball player? Adam Thielen runs better routes than what Justin Jefferson runs. And Sills, I know this will be unpopular, but we'd get more if we move Smitty. Yeah, not me, man. I'm not moving that dude. No way. I need leaders on my team. And that guy is without, I'm not moving that guy. There's nothing about that guy except his size I don't like. And the size has not been a factor that's hurt him. Dude, if I could do everything in my power, I would want Devontae Smith to retire Philadelphia Eagle. I kind of see it, what you're going, but he's just one of those guys on my roster I want. Okay? Bob, it's not terrible, but I can't get rid of that guy because he's willing to do everything and anything for me in my football team. I just can't get rid of all that. He's great. He's a great teammate. I mean, all of that. AJ's Ray Lewis of wide receivers. Best comparison. AJ Brown, if I had to, AJ's a better hands TO, but he's not as good as TO, if that makes any sense. Terrell Owens was just a great football player. Okay, ask yourself this. If AJ stays, how many years? 1? How about this one? You think AJ Brown is part of the future of the Philadelphia Eagles? Is he the future? I think he's part of the future of the team. Bold prediction this year. Bold prediction. This hurts last year to prove he can throw with volume. If he fails, fire Sirianni. Next year, reset button. Draft a quarterback in round 1. Rookie deal. Class is loaded. Also won't have money tied to the quarterback. It's a great take because there's no money owed to him. You're right. I'm saying in regards to him mauling DBs, his route running means nothing. He's essentially uncoverable. Dude, I think Devontae's look, hard for me to talk shade on him. I really like the player. I mean, it's truly one of the best draft picks that you guys have had like ever. Trade AJ for picks that you have no idea who you're going to get. If he's a problem, punt him at the deadline. Why do all that, though? So I'm going to wait and see? I'd rather try to go all in this season and see if it works and lose a little bit of compensation. You're not going to get – if AJ comes out of the gate, hey, Twiz, Twiz, I'm not going to slam you for this, but let me ask you this. So if that offense comes out limping and they're 2-4 or something by the time the trading deadline comes, you're not getting a 1 for him midseason. Nobody's going to give you a 1 for an upcoming draft that's loaded in wideouts and quarterbacks. They're not giving you a 1. No way. So what's the difference between AJ and DK? He's a better player. DK is a little more physical. And I think he's faster. He's faster and more physical, DK Metcalf. But I don't think he has the hands, and I don't think he has the yak that Metcalf doesn't possess, like after the catch. And I'm not that intimidated by DK Metcalf that I am by AJ. If I'm a defensive coordinator, Metcalf is he's a good player. But AJ is a difference maker. And you know why? And you know what else? I don't believe there's any coincidence that A.J. Brown played with Derrick Henry and with Saquon Barkley, and those guys had career years with him on the team. That's not a coincidence. That means that guy knocks fucking people out. 49ers have the third youngest defense now, even with Bosa and Warner. Purdy has experienced players all around him now and a backup quarterback. How you doing? I think the 49ers are going to be a hell of a football team this year. I mean, I think they took a step back, but they took a step forward in a way because they built – listen to what they did, Hollywood, a year ago. That team that beat the 49ers – or that 49er team that beat the Eagles – those were all their depth pieces and backups. And those guys, again, by the way, you want to hear something funny? Purdy played in like 9 games and had as many passing touchdowns as fucking Hurts did. Says I don't see it. Well, I saw a backup. I saw their backups beat you. Too bad the 49ers are in the same division as Rams and Seahawks. I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think that's a great thing. I'd rather be in a tougher division. And then when I got to the playoffs, just because you have 11 wins like some of you think, that you're a better team than a team with 9 wins, that's not how that works. The Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers in that division makes that division the best division in all of football. You got the best quarterback in football in that division, and you got the best team in that division, and you got some of the best coaching in that division. The head coach in Seattle is a great coach. Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay have won. One guy's won a Super Bowl, and the other guy's been to a Super Bowl. Multiple. I don't even believe the Seahawks are going to make it through. Yeah, but you believe that the Eagles are. Okay. Oh, so the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, and you guys have lost 3 dudes that were essential pieces to your team. You signed a bunch of Timu guys. You got knocked out of the playoffs by the 49ers, but you're better. Okay. Oh, my God. That could be. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Says if we start out bad, Nick and Jalen are on the chopping block. AJ's the least of my worries. Great topic. You're more concerned about Nick and Jalen going into 26 than AJ? That's not a bad take. That's not. All right, here. So the Eagles are. Let's see here. So let me ask you about this. I think this is a reset year. Quinyon Mitchell, good for years. JoJo, that's not true. If your front 7 doesn't produce and you got shitty edges and you got guys underachieving and they don't play, Quinyon Mitchell will look like a common guy back there in a common defense if that defense doesn't step up and play well. Now, look, you got Vic, and it's not been the problem the last 2 years. Here's the deal. Your coaching is the same. Your talent has gotten worse over the last 2 years. We pointed this out the last 2 days. Since the Super Bowl, what was that, 23 months ago, you're not the same talent. Bad takes? So let me ask you this, Spike. I'll show you this. Do you think you're the same talent of players on your football team defensively that you had in 24 that you are today? Do you think you're better? Hey, instead of talking to me, answer the fucking questions. Okay? Do you believe you're better than you were 23 months ago? Excuse me, 23? What was that? 13 months ago in 2 weeks. And do you believe you're better today than you were 13 weeks ago, 13 months ago in 2 weeks? Do you believe that? Hey, spit. Do you believe you're better than you were 13 months ago in 2 weeks? Bad takes? How about some reality, kid? You could try it in a punch bowl, too. We have Howie Roseman. Name me one significant move in the last 13 months and 2 weeks that he has had externally to bring in a player to make it better. I'll tell you, Jalen Phillips. That's it. And it resulted in getting bounced in the opening round of the playoffs. What else? Free agency's come and gone. Free agency's come and gone. I love how everyone goes like this. March 25th. You don't realize your options are limited now. Trade or draft. And you got to pray that you land on a penny stock, that the kid's going to turn out to be an impact guy. Seals, if Smitty is only ever going to be a number 2, then he's overpaid. I don't think he's overpaid. T. Higgins gets the same money. And $25 million a year for a player. Dude, nobody said that guy's not a really good player. And I don't mind the money he makes. Guy shows up every day to work, plays hard, he's productive. But we'll see how get this. We'll see how he plays without another number 1 on the other side, too. We'll see how that works. Without another number 1 over on the other side of him, Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore. What's his name? Elijah Moore. Those guys ain't going to fucking cut it. Every other year Super Bowl appearance, I'll take it. Every other year? Okay. So you think you're going to Super Bowl this year? No problem, man. Here's Dick Track. I haven't seen Dick Track in a while. Jalen Hurts is Super Bowl MVP. So is Kenny Walker. He just got bounced from the Seahawks. That Super Bowl MVP meant as much to the Seahawks as Kenny Walker winning it as it does to me with Jalen Hurts winning it. I'll tell you what. Hey, dude, that Super Bowl MVP didn't mean shit to Seattle. They'll let the kid walk. We are worse at all 3 phases. Kicker, I think the punting is good. Been shaky offensively is a disaster, and defense keeps getting stripped of talent because the overpriced off. That's a great take. Your overpriced offense is killing you in your stability on defense. That's a wonderful take. Twiz, that's a grand slam take. You're right. Your overpriced and underachieving offense is causing your defense to lose talent at a massive clip over the last fucking 13 months. That is exactly right. And that's a huge problem. When they underachieve and don't perform and can't elevate and can't evolve, and you're stripping down your defense every offseason, it's collateral damage to the poor execution. Howie wasn't wrong to give those contracts to the offensive side of the ball. These guys have just started underachieving. Howie didn't make a mistake because the majority of the time when he signed Cam, gave the extension to Barkley, did all that stuff, restructuring AJ, these guys were productive. He wasn't wrong with that. The problem is that, again, the problem becomes, well, and here's this he'll post about 17 fucking stupid things. They were 7-7 after the month of September. The rest of the way outside of Fool's Gold month of September, they were a 500 football team. 500. See here. You see, University of Miami had every single team, by the way, every single team they had from the National Football League down at their pro day. It was great. Okay? Keeping core players underachieving. So wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that you don't think your offense has underachieved the last 2 years, and I'll even go 2 years with the Super Bowl year? You were the one-dimensional football team in the last 34 games. You ran the ball exceptionally well out of one of those years. And the other years, the last 2 years and 34 games, your passing game has been one of the worst and fifth worst in pro football. Did you over or underachieve as a unit when you're paying skilled players max dollars? Watch this. He'll say yes. I'll show you what glazed donut is in a minute. Hang on. It just won't take long. This won't take long. Hang on. Glazed donut's coming. He's putting the sprinkles on now. He's taking it out of the oven. I guarantee you. Hang on here. Here comes the glazed donut. Didn't you tell us you only care about defensive running output when winning? No, I never said that. 15 minutes ago, I said, didn't you tell us you only care about defense and running output when winning? That was like, I don't even remember that fucking conversation, guy. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Wow. Dude, I'll see you tomorrow. Glazed donut. Glazed donut. Yes, sir, baby. Glazed donut. Hey, get this. Hey, dude, do me a favor, guy. Just answer the questions here. I don't have anything to do with the fucking way you're running the team the last 2 years. Okay? Stick on point. So let's get to another topic here. M. Reyes aside. Sean Mannion. What's your expectations on Sean Mannion this year? Curious. Sean Mannion. What do you think? Sean Mannion. Top 10 offense? Top 15 offense? Top 20 offense? What do you think? What do you think? Okay, KC. What's that mean? What do you think? Passing, where do you think the ranking will be? Passing. And the last 2 years, you've averaged 26th. So where do you think you'll be? 20-ish? All right. Rushing. Where you think you're going to be? Rushing. Under Sean Filet Mignonin. Fifth. Okay. So wait a minute. We did an exercise earlier and I'm not getting this. We're going to replace the football team in the next 24 months, and you're going to be fifth in rushing? Hey, wait. This has got to make sense. This has got to make sense to me. We just did an exercise. You just got through telling me we're going to replace the football team in the next 24 months. And you're going to be fifth in rushing? I don't know. I can't tell if Z's ready to come in or not. I think he's stuck. Oh, you're ready to go. All right. Yeah, no. Hey, this is a lot of fun, man. I am in my freaking wheelhouse right now. How you doing? I am in a wheelhouse right now. And I can't. Hey. We're going to replace the offensive personnel in the next 24 months, but you're going to be fifth in rushing this year. Okay. Without further ado, we bring in the man who everyone looks to help them. Help him. He is my friend, Big Z, Zander Krause. He joins us now. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
I am doing, man.
What are you trolling these people about today, huh?
Trolling? No, you see what I'm doing here is I'm looking at where you are right now. Okay? So, I'll ask you, Zander. The Eagles right now, I just pointed out their age. In the next 20 months, you have to replace 8 of your 11. I'm not even talking about the quarterback. 8 of your 11 starters. Do you not agree?
Yeah, it's most of the, it's most NFL teams probably going to have to do the same thing.
Okay, the Jets and the Eagles, I think, are a different conversation.
Bullshit. What about the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, they got one equalizer in the room, and that's called number 15.
That doesn't change that even with an equalizer, you have to rotate through players. This is the NFL.
Wait a second. So you believe that Howie is going to systematically in the next 23 months replace A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens potentially, Lane Johnson, and Hollywood Jackson in the next
Why, you don't like Elijah Moore?
Who?
Elijah.
Oh, it's babysitter.
It might be. Might be his babysitter.
Z, do you believe they're in a good place?
I believe they're in a tougher place than they've been in the last 4 years.
Oh, that's a great take.
It's a tougher part. The roster's, in a different space. The offense, which has been paid, is aging a little bit. Defensive players are getting good and they're getting paid, you're going to have Cooper DeJean and Quinion next year getting $30 million. So I think they're in a tougher part to manage than they were coming out of Carson Wentz era, where you had a rookie quarterback, you had they were able to trade for A.J. Brown and really not even think about paying him the money because there wasn't a lot of guys getting paid in Philly outside of, Lane Johnson and Fletcher Cox at the time. So, they're in a different spot right now, but I got confidence how we'll be able to pull us out of it. But I don't even think it's pulling us out of it. I think it's just making the right decisions to keep the team in a good place to continue to contend. And you're not going to contend every single year, for a 5 to 10 year period. It just doesn't happen. I mean, even Kansas City, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. So, if they have to regroup, I think they're closer to that than they've been in the last couple of years.
But the difference between Kansas City and Philly in the last 6 years, they've been to 5 Super Bowls. Okay, I mean, you're right.
And who's in second?
They've been to 5 Super Bowls in 6 years.
Yeah, I know that, but the team in second place in that same time is the Eagles with 2 Super Bowls. Nobody else has been to 2.
I get it. Okay, well then why do you? Okay, so you're saying it's the quarterback. It's the reason that they've been to 5 in more Super Bowls than in Philly, right?
No. Well, I think.
Okay, then what else is the other reason?
Well, they got Andy Reid, they got Pat Mahomes, they have good GM, they got a good team. I mean, they've done good things. They have Chris Jones, they have good players too. I'm not saying they don't have great players. I mean, I don't. What can the Eagles do here to try and extend the window? That's where I think it's getting tough right now is extending that window, and maybe they do have to take the proverbial 1 step back to take 2 steps forward at some point in the future. I think you're closer to that now than they have been, but look, you're talking to a fan base right now that has a lot of confidence, and there's a reason this fan base has a lot of confidence. A lot of people in this chat have been Eagle fans a lot longer than I have. A lot of people in this chat have been Eagle fans longer than I've been alive. They've never seen this type of success. Now, that doesn't mean that there's nothing wrong with it, but they have confidence in Howie. They have confidence in Jalen. They have confidence in Nick. They have confidence in the team and in the organization because right now we're in the midst of the greatest era of Eagles history. And the guys who are overseeing it or oversaw that are still in charge. So I think until they put us back into a bad spot, I think some people are going to be confident and optimistic, and I understand that. I understand that completely.
Okay, so do you think the Eagle front office and the owner and the general manager do a good job at keeping you competitive championship-wise over the last, let's just say, since you won your first Super Bowl? Do you think they have been, and I'm not saying every organization has to be perfect, and I'm not going down that lane. And I'm just saying, since you won your first Super Bowl, do you think that organization keeps you at a championship level of competitive football every year, each and every single year?
Well, not each and every single year. I mean, 2020 was obviously a bad year. 2021 was kind of a retooling. So not every year, but in the full sample size, I mean, you can make an argument. Yeah. I mean, How many teams have been to 3 Super Bowls in the last 8 years, or 9 years, whatever it's been now? I think it's 9. Shit, is it 9 years since we won our first one? Was that a decade ago?
A lot of success. A lot of success.
I know, but was that a decade ago? Holy shit, man. Sometimes that feels like it was.
I think the 26 season is coming up on a decade.
Yep, that's a decade. Holy moly. But or 9 years, coming up on 9 years. So, I think they've been pretty successful. They're not perfect. Hell no.
Okay.
But I think the one thing that gives, a lot of people a lot of optimism is, the trajectory for Howie has been like that. Like, it's not like he had a great run pre-Carson Wentz, then it was really bad, then he got back to even. Like, Howie's been it's ups and downs, but he's been on this type of trajectory. And like the way he rebounded from the Carson Wentz era with a new coach and a new quarterback, I don't know how many other GMs would have been able to do that. Again, doesn't mean he's perfect, but I think it gives people confidence that when you have big changes, even changes as big as your head coach and quarterback, Howie's going to be able to take the pieces, take the roster, take the money, take everything, and put it all together and make you a competent football team. They've been a very competent team, really, Sills, in the last 25 years. Since 2000, they've been a competent team. Now, maybe not achieving the level of success that some people want, but pretty damn competent team.
Okay. Do you believe that the offense is the number one reason, the underachieving offense is the number one reason over the last 2 years why you've had to jettison players? Is because of the overpaid offense?
Well, it's the roster. I mean, it is the offense, but whenever you have got X amount of players making, 20 plus million or whatever it is, guys who come up aren't all going to get paid. It's just kind of the way it goes. I mean, look, maybe the Eagles should be more aggressive in that. What would you rather do? Would you rather let Milton Williams walk in free agency, or would you rather trade him after year 3 and get a return? Because that's what the Chiefs do. They traded L'Jarius Sneed. They trade those guys. Now, they don't let them walk. They just trade them.
Compensation picks, though, getting back kind of lets Howie not have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the comp picks, but
The comp picks help him with that.
That's a good game to play. It's not my favorite game to fall in love with.
I hate that too, but I don't think he gets killed on that. Because look, even if he loses Jalen Phillips in free agency and he lost that 3, he's probably going to get that 3 back on the 27 draft, right?
Yeah, probably.
Right? So it's kind of
look at this year. We got 4 extra picks.
Yeah. Okay, so hook me up here, man. On Sean Mannion. What are you expecting from him this year?
I don't know what to expect from this guy. I really don't. I mean, and me and John.
What's your biggest concern?
My biggest concern is that he's 33 and he's never called a play of offense in his life. You know, John brought up great context this morning. He's like, Kyle Shanahan's widely regarded as the best offensive coach in the NFL. And that's who I think it is, too. He's my favorite. I mean, I think McVay, Shanahan, all those guys are up there. It took Kyle 10 years. And he grew up with his dad being a Hall of Fame coach. You know, Sean Mannion, this is the first time the guy's ever called a play. I mean, we joked about giving the Ferrari to Patullo last year. Bro, we swapped out the same rookie driver. We went from one rookie driver to another rookie driver. Same thing. Now, this rookie might be better than that rookie, but it's the same concept. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the way they've done it, and just in the fact that you have this caliber of talent, whether you think it's as good as it is or not, all on one side of the ball, and you keep putting a guy who's never done it. But you know, look at what they did when they got Kellen Moore. I mean, you know, the offense changed, and he had to evaluate and change his offense a little bit. But shit, the guy knew how to manage the ebbs and flows of a game. The guy knew how to manage the ups and downs of a season. The guy knew how to manage, you know, play calling within a game, within a structure, within a series, within all these different things. And that's my biggest concern is, dude, they brought back the same personnel. It's the same personnel on offense. So if you think last year's offense wasn't good enough, I think most of us think that.
Yeah.
What's the fix? Right now, the Eagles have identified the only fix is Sean Mannion. I don't disagree with them that the coaching could be better. I don't know yet that I agree with them that Sean Mannion's the answer to that question. You know,
I
to that
think it was
problem.
personnel and not coaching last year.
Well, I happen to think that too, but I also don't think that Kevin Patullo did a great job. I mean, I don't think he answered the call.
Okay, what did Kellen Moore do in 24 that was so fucking spectacular?
He had a feel for the game. I'm not saying it was complex. It was simple. But even just the ability to do that simple thing sometimes takes time to go through. You know, it takes learning experience to get to that point. Would Kevin Patullo have made those same adjustments in 24?
The head coach was the same head coach was in the building with Kellen Moore as with Kevin Patullo as with Kellen. I mean, he was there with him. How come he didn't do the same thing?
Now you think Kevin Patullo was good last year?
No, I'm asking you. The head coach made those changes in 24 with Kellen Moore to run the ball more. How come Nick hadn't had answers in 25?
Well, I don't think it worked as well. I mean, the offensive line was great in 24, you know?
But then the hiring of the guy, Kevin Patullo, is on the heels of the coach that just hired another guy who fucking never called a play.
Yeah, well, I don't know why they did that.
Okay.
I think Sean Mannion's going to be bright. It's not about that. It's about we don't have time to let him grow and be bright.
Do you want my opinion on Sean Mannion? He's going to be a great coach in Minnesota one day.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have time to let him be great. We need a guy who knows what to do right now. Does Sean know what to do? I don't think so.
I want to give your point some context what you just said. Kyle Shanahan. So Kyle Shanahan worked with John Gruden. Let's see here. Kyle Shanahan, he cut his chops with John Gruden. His first job was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then his next job was with Gary Kubiak. Yes, the same Kubiak, but that's the father, and Josh McDaniels, who was there with the Texans. And then he went and worked with Mike Shanahan, and then he became a coordinator. I mean, dude, that's coming up the ranks and working with some quality people.
No, it is. Yeah, it is.
And like you said, like what John said, that's coming up the ranks, dude. And like you're working with quality people, showing you formations on how to get people open and concepts all over the place.
It's also a part of our society too, isn't it? Like back when Kyle was coming up, felt like it was a different world. I mean, quarterbacks had more time to develop. Now we live in that world, where it's like you give a draft pick 1 year or a coach 1 year. I mean, it's a different world today. Everything is expected quicker. The attention spans, I think, of people at large are much shorter, and I think that's a part of it as well.
So I'm going to expand on a point you made today. Again, it's on AJ. Bro, if I wait till the trading deadline this coming season in 26, you ain't getting a 1. And if I wait till after the season, you're not getting a 2. So, I mean, you're kind of caught in the middle here.
I'm not sure you get a 2 at the trade deadline.
Okay. I was just being fair, kind of kind.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I think Howie will be able to get a 2 because Howie's pretty good at that. But,
yeah.
I mean,
because they'll be a desperate team.
I'm no NFL GM, and I'm not professing to be one. But if I was one, I wouldn't trade a 2 for AJ Brown in the middle of the year. Half a year for AJ Brown. I mean, 29, 30-year wide receiver. I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but I understand that he's still a good player. But I think I'm just exhausted by this whole fucking AJ Brown thing. I mean, it's a part of it. And everybody has to be better this year. It's not all on Mannion. It's not all on AJ. It's actually a lot on Jalen Hurts, too. I mean, you're the quarterback of the football team. If the offense can't pass the ball well, you can tell me it's Patullo all we want here, but at the end of the day, you're holding the football every play. He's got to be better. Devontae Smith has to be better. AJ Brown certainly has to be better. Saquon Barkley's got to be better. All the offensive linemen, they all got to be better too. Everybody has to be better. I mean, that's what I think the reality is of the offense. Is Mannion going to be able to get the most out of those players? I'm not sure if he is or not. We're going to find that out.
Okay. So tell me if you agree with this. You're basically pushing your team to the edge here by saying this. Hurts is going to elevate his game under this new system and under the new way that we're going to try to approach on throwing the ball with an offensive line that I've got to fucking hope comes back to health. A running back finds his game, and a defense continues under the tutelage of Vic Fangio to replace players every single year that they've done the last 2 years, and you're on that edge, and the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, has to elevate with an offensive line that's got question marks, potentially no AJ, and a new offensive play caller that's never called plays. You don't think that that's a lot to ask of the unknown?
It's a ton to ask.
Okay, what's the thing you go feeling most let's do something positive here. What's the one thing you feel going into the season that you're most confident in? Offensively.
Offensively? Nothing. They haven't been a good passing offense in 2 years. The offensive line has been really the heartbeat of the offense for the last decade, even pre-Jalen Hurts, and that thing did not look anywhere close to the same last year. That's a big problem. So are they going to get better in the passing game? I don't know. I mean, maybe in theory, but is Saquon Barkley going to be better at 29 than he was at 28? Maybe. Hard to be real confident, I think, on this team right now in terms of offense, but do you get a great defense again? Do you get an offensive line that's healthier this year that allows you to win football games, that allows you to run the ball better? I mean, I think those things are possible for sure. So I can't say I'm confident in it, though. And the reason my confidence there isn't high, mainly because of the offensive line. I just don't I don't see it with that O-line coming back. I'm not saying they're not good players, but we look like the rest of the league on offensive line now. We have a piecemeal O-line.
I think we're victims of headlines on the back of the jerseys. I really do. I think we're victims of it, Zander. We see the great names and the great history and the great production that these men have had. Can it be that they've just fallen off the cliff a little bit? I mean,
Well, yeah.
I look at the names and say the same thing. How can you be 28th in passing?
Well, that's on Jalen Hurts. I mean, I'm sorry. Anybody who wants to say it's not, I don't think is being honest with themselves. I mean, you can have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and this offensive line who, for all the problems they had last year, was not bad at all in pass protection, and then just sit here and act like it has nothing to do with the quarterback and it's all Kevin fucking Petula. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even compute. 2 + 2 = 4. That's like 2 + 2 = 42. Doesn't even make sense. So, Jalen Hurts has to be better. He's the quarterback of the football team. I'll say Josh Allen's got to be better. Every quarterback in the league who underachieves has to be better. When you're talking about a passing offense that's in the bottom 6 of the league for 3 years in a row or 2 years in a row, I don't know what they were in 23. I mean, that's the quarterback. The quarterback has to be better. So, that's a part of it too. And that's, by the way, anybody who doesn't think that, I don't understand. I mean, he's a starting quarterback of a football team. Your expectation for him should be higher than every other person on the roster. At least that's how I think Jalen Hurts sees it. That's how Tom Brady probably saw it when he was in his prime. You think Patrick Mahomes, when they don't reach playoffs, do you think he says to Andy Reid and Brett Veach, well, you gutted my team, or do you think he says, I had to be better this year?
I have to be better.
And they fucking gutted his team.
Yeah.
They gave him nothing.
Yeah. Look at the receivers they beat the Eagles with in the Super Bowl. They were nobodies. And they were just absolutely nobodies. And they thought they can get away with getting rid of Snead. Now they're thinking they're going to get away with getting rid of Trent McDuffie. Bro, I think that's a dumb move too. Yeah. Especially in an AFC that throws the ball around. So let me go to the other side of the ball with you here now. So we're doing positives here. And I'm going to show you something on what you're going to land on. I already know what you're going to land on. What gives you the most confidence on the defensive side?
Players.
Okay. Not where I thought you'd go.
You thought I was going to say Vic.
I did.
Yeah, but Vic's got a 40-year career. He's not top of the league every time. No way. He's got great players at every level of the defense. He's got Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell. He has Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. He has Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. I mean, we don't even have to talk about safeties or edge rushers, and he still has 2 great players at every level of the defense. That's what it is. It's Vic combined with the talented players that he has on the football field. That's where I get confidence on defense. I mean, Sills, I'll tell you this right now. You want a bold prediction? If this team goes and gets somebody like a Jonathan Grenard or insert name, but an edge rusher that's a player, I think they're going to be a top 5 D. I mean, think about it. They'd have Carter, Davis, Ajomo, plus an edge, plus rotating Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith, Bond and Campbell in the linebacker spot, Cooper, Quinyon, and Tariq Woolen with Makuba and insert name at safety. I mean, that's a pretty freaking good defense.
Okay. I'm going to go back to something I said yesterday, though, to you. That doesn't make sense with that move. Okay. If you do what you're saying, you're going to give 2 draft picks up, and then you're going to end up paying the 30 that you and I said they shouldn't have paid to Phillips. Wouldn't you have rather just paid Phillips?
No.
Why? Grenard? You think Jonathan Grenard's a better player than
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But if we pay Jalen Phillips, well, you're right. I mean, if they end up paying Grenard 30, then yeah, maybe the argument's easier to make. But I'm not in that camp because how many times have you talked about it? Players are leaving Philly. Why? Because they're paying so many people. You add a $30 million Jalen Phillips, who, look, I like the player, but.
Yeah, but if you make the trade and pay him 30, he's going to want a contract extension.
Yeah, is it? Are you out after a year or 2 though?
Wait, he's going to want a 3-year contract extension.
Yeah, but Jalen Phillips got a 4-year deal. Apparently, the Eagles wanted to go 3 years max.
Yeah,
which by the way, the Eagles deals at 3 years would normally have an out after 2.
Yeah. 27.5 they wanted to pay, and they didn't want to go north of 27.5. I'm just saying, if you make that deal, it kind of contradicts. Well, look, why don't you just pay the 2.5 and not give the 3 and 5 up, and you're paying the same money? I mean, like I said about the plan, I think this money and all these Temu signings, Like, who significantly have they signed, in your opinion, externally in the last 3 years? Like, free agency wise.
Well, they signed Saquon, but
Okay, that was $9 million. His original deal.
no, it was 13, right?
Was
13.
it? I thought it was 9, and I
thought it was 3 for 39. No?
Okay, it could have been. And you're probably on
No,
that.
I might be wrong. I'll look it up.
I thought it was 9.
Saquon Barkley, Eagles.
That they gave him 9.
I'll tell you in a sec here. The most recent one was 2 for 41. Yeah, 3 for 38, 37.75. So it was like 13 years. It was 12.5 average annual. 12.58.
That's right. Okay.
12. A little bit more than 9, but not that much more.
Okay.
Vaughn was a good signing. I mean, obviously they extended him and gave him a big contract. Huff was obviously a miss. Yeah, not many.
Okay. Do you think that's hurt them? Missing on free agency?
No, because I don't think signing external free agents is the number one way to build a football team. You know, and I
agree.
think most
gotta have a core. You're drafting.
I think most great teams. You know,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
Look at Spike. He says Zander is a Jalen hater. Thanks, Sills, for ruining Zander. Dude, I'm not a Jalen hater at all. I fucking love Jalen. I Spike, you don't think Jalen's got to play better? Like, is that an unrealistic comment, really? You know, I think even Jalen's biggest fans. I think Jalen Hurts would say, I got to play better next year.
You want a criticism of a player to make this guy have a better feel for his life? All right. Lamar Jackson's got to see the game better. He's electric. He's a great player.
I'm out on Lamar.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if you threw his name out there right now, he'd be the most coveted player, and people would want to have play on his football team.
Lamar?
Yes.
Well, yeah, there's also a lot of big business behind Lamar, too. I mean, you know, he's going to sell a mass amount of jerseys. He's going to fill the stands. I mean, Lamar's out. I mean, he's going to change your franchise around. You're not going to win a Super Bowl with him, but you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, him being in Baltimore, he has no excuse. Baltimore's just as good a franchise as any of the top franchises in pro football. Okay? I mean, they are. So let me go here with this one on the head coach. How much influence is Nick going to have this year in the play calling with Sean Mannion?
That's a great question. Well, it's been his offense, right? He loves to tell everybody it's his offense every year. So you got to think it would be a little bit, but I don't know. He's the head coach of the team. I mean, if Sean Mannion walked in on you and you're Nick Sirianni, I know everybody loves to shit on Nick, but think about this. If you're Nick Sirianni, all right, you have 2 NFC trophies on your mantle. You have 1 Super Bowl. You have a win percentage that's second to Vince Lombardi in your first 5 years as a head coach. I know everybody loves to say that Nick Sirianni is a moron. You know, would you listen to Sean Mannion if he told you to abandon what you wanted to do? Would you let Sean Mannion have final say over you?
No. Yeah, but I would.
No, I think Nick will have a say. Yeah.
Well, here's just simple sills. So I'm going to be simple sills.
Bullshit.
If I don't know how to change an alternator, I'm going to hire a person that knows how to change an alternator that didn't read it out of a book.
Yeah, but that's not what we're doing here. You're a homeowner that's trying to change an alternator. That's not being the head coach of a football team. Here's a better example.
Well, no.
I want to get one of the wait. I want to get one of the interns from IP and put him on your show, and he's going to dictate to you what topics you talk about every day.
Well, who hired that intern to do that?
That's not the point.
Yes, it is. The guy who puts the guy in the room and then the guy.
So you're saying if you hired him, you would let him do it?
I wouldn't hire that guy.
I'm just saying, Nick is good. He hired him.
I'm not hiring an intern.
He didn't hire him to change.
That's my point. I'm not hiring a fucking guy who's never done a fucking heart surgery.
You're fucking kidding me.
I'm not hiring a guy who read out of a book or came out of like UPenn on how to do an open heart surgery and just go, hey, I want you to cut me open. I'm your first guy.
Look at Alfredo. He says, Nick is a bum, Zander. The team carries him. Well, Alfredo, let me ask you something. Why is I saw JD3 put this in the chat. Why are none of Nick's assistants that have left? What are they doing? Anybody having success without Nick? Where's Shane Steichen in the worst division in football? How about Brian Johnson? How about Jonathan Gannon? Oh, all
Okay.
right.
Hold on.
Interesting.
I got a simple answer for that. You got
Howie.
You got the best GM, and you've got the best talent and the best roster on the planet. And hence, here's what they said. They thought it was coaching last year, not players. That's why you hired some dude that was a doorman at a strip club in downtown Philly as your new OC.
Listen, I'm not telling you if I started the team tomorrow and I raised $10 billion from the great people of JAKIB Nation, I'd hire Nick, as I would. In fact, he probably wouldn't even make my list of top 10 to hire. But he's done well. I'm not going to shit on the man's success, man.
Not well. He's done great.
Yeah, he's done phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I get it, but he's done well because of fucking.
You might have to change up some. Jalen Hurts has been kind of like the lightning rod in Philly for the last 4 years. It's like the guy you talk about and you're going to get clicks no matter if it's good or bad. Nick might be that guy. Look at this. Zander, don't be an idiot. Nick is the godfather. They all stink without Nick. Good point. When did Zander start loving Brian Johnson? Weak point. Look, everybody's going crazy. Nick might be the lightning rod. Sileo.
Well, no, because get this. Well, I've always thought he was a caboose, and I always thought he was a fucking doorman.
Well,
I've never thought he was anybody who said, wait a minute, let's get this right, folks. Watch this. Howie Roseman brings every single personnel decision in that building. It goes through him. Because I hear Nick saying it every day. I hear Nick saying this. Howie does a great job with his people. Howie does a great job with his guys. Howie does a great job at retooling the fucking football team. Howie does this, Howie does that. Okay, well, Nick says it himself. Nick is a product of the environment of the great players around him. Nothing more, nothing less. If he went to the Jets, he'd be Todd Bowles in New York. He'd be Robert Saleh.
Johnson was a product of the great players around him.
What's that?
Jimmy Johnson was a product of the great players around him.
That Jimmy picked.
Okay, so he was a good GM. Okay, good.
Yeah, good GM and great head coach and the coaches he hired. That guy brought the entire Miami Hurricane staff to Dallas with him.
He was a product of the players.
Okay, that he handpicked.
Okay. So he was a good GM.
So he handpicked the talent, coached them to wins, motivated them to wins, and hired the assistant coaches that helped them win. Yeah, that's Jimmy. You know what Nick does? Howie, I need help. Help me out here. I mean, wait a minute. One year I hired
dude, because if Nick came here and failed and needed Howie to bail him out, that would be true. Now you're going to criticize Nick for being hired to an organization that was built this way from the start. I mean, that's what they did with Doug too.
Wait. No, well, Doug fought it, and here's the thing though that I look at with Nick.
Yeah, it's like what your wife says, and Doug got fired. So you're going to knock the man for being, congratulations.
Wanting to work on Monday?
Yeah, right. Congratulations, you're right. You're fired. It's like one of those things. Nick is political because he wants to keep his damn job.
That's why he makes only $10 million a year.
I need one of these damn reporters to figure out what that contract was. They never got it.
Yeah, of course they're not going to tell you what it was.
Shit, dude.
Because the guy's like 13th in the pay list. I wonder what Howie got.
Howie last contract, it was like $3 to $5 million or something.
His contract was up. They had to renew it, right?
Yeah, they renewed it last year with Nick. They keep him normally on the same.
Oh, I thought his contract was up in March.
No, I think it was last summer.
Yeah, I thought I read March of this year was up. I thought it was.
He signed a 2-year extension in 22 or 3-year extension in 22. Howard Roseman contract. Yeah, it was last season. 22, he signed March of 22, a 3-year deal. Now, maybe that was an add-on.
3 years is 25, the end of 25 then.
Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe it was this summer. Who knows?
Yeah, like I said, yeah, because it's 3 years. I wouldn't let that guy get out of the building. That's for damn sure.
I don't really get, though, like, what would Nick have to do for people to think he's not a stiff? Like, I don't get it. I really don't.
Okay.
Like, the only answer, by the way you explain it, is not working Philly. That's it. Wait a second. In one side of the Sileo mouth,
okay,
he says the quarterback is a caboose.
Okay.
The other side, you have a coach who figured out how to win 70% of his football games with him and go to a Super Bowl twice.
Okay.
How is that coach a stiff?
I'm going to ask here. Do you think when the team goes sideways or the team is underperforming, you think Nick Sirianni's an answer guy?
No. And I think that's one of his deficiencies. But does that make him a bad coach?
Well, do you want to have a head coach that when things are going bad wants to be able to rally the troops?
Oh, no, obviously you want that, but doesn't
so you're basically defining a front runner to me.
I don't think he's a front runner because I think they get to the front from him being a good coach.
Well, when things are going great, he's great. When things are bad, he sucks. That's a front runner.
No, come on, dude. That's not what Nick is. Bro.
That's not a front runner? Hey, when things are growing great, he looks wonderful. When things are like 4th and 11, he looks like an ass clown on the sidelines there with trying to figure out the throw and triple coverage against the JV 49er.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm actually laughing at Underdog. Every time I see Underdog in the chat, you motherfucker cracks me up. Two turnovers on one play. That was still the most iconic play of the 2025 season.
It defined it.
Oh my gosh. I would have pulled that play up and rewatch it tonight.
Does Howie go up or down in the draft?
I kind of think down. Think about it. We need a lot of guys. We need safety, tight end, obviously offensive lineman, edge rusher, wide receiver. Would you rather have 4 picks in the top 100 or have 3 for second-round picks this year?
If I have to replace all the players that we pointed out in the next 2 years, I would totally want to have more picks in the top 100. That also means moving AJ. That also means moving AJ.
Well, it depends. I mean, if the board falls and there's a player they like and they want to go grab him, they're going to try and go grab him. Remember, they got lucky with Campbell last year. They tried to trade up to 22 last year. Nobody took their trade, and then Campbell fell all the way to 30. I mean, he fell in their lap. They were willing to. That's exactly what happened.
I thought they were trying to trade for the Nolan kid from Ole Miss.
Nope. Jahad Campbell. That's who they wanted at 22 or 23 overall. Same player they drafted at 30. Fell into their lap.
Man, I'll tell you, this is going to be the most. Do you think this has a little bit of 2000? Listen, you come off 11 wins, so that matters way more than coming off of 4 wins. But doesn't this feel a little like coming off the 2020 season where you got a lot of moves to make here to keep yourself in the conversation with those Rams and Seahawks, Packers, and those guys? Doesn't this feel like that? Because, dude, if you're not going to hit on every goddamn draft pick in the next 2 years to retool the team.
Oh, I know, and you'll let us hear it too.
That's my job.
you will act like they need to hit on every pick. All things considered, Howie's got a pretty good batting average right now.
Yeah, over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I told you that, because you used to say I was wrong about Howie, and I said to you, not so fast. There's a lot of other people who are wrong about Howie too, because Howie wasn't looked at in 2020 as the same GM as he's looked at now.
No way.
No way is right.
He was looked at more of a.
You remember? We're going to have Philly 500 on in a little bit. You remember what Philly 500, and it still is his thing. But he used to say it even back before this level of success that the Eagles have had. Howie vision, like it's Howie's world, and we're just living in it, basically. I mean, that's what Philly used to say, even in the bad times. So,
how long a rope do you think Sean Mannion has?
That's a good question. I think it's got to be the full year. I mean, how are you going to hire a guy that's never called a play and then not give him a year to figure it out? You know,
Figure it out.
This is the same problem we're going to go back to. I know I wouldn't have hired the guy, but they did. So what do you want me to do? Fucking live in Delulu land?
Man, why create more question marks for your team? It just doesn't. I'm not.
Who was the greatest draft pick of Howie Roseman's career?
Hurts.
What'd you think of the signing of Freddie J and Elijah Moore?
I think Freddie J was good, man. I think he's a solid guy. I think that, I liked what somebody said in here earlier. I think he'll play more reps this year than Lane. I think it's a good sign. I think he's been a quality.
You think he'll play more reps than Lane? Well, then we got problems.
Yeah. Well, you think Lane's going to be healthier at 37?
No.
Okay. I'm hoping Lane plays 12 games this year. And I'm hoping back end 12. You know what I mean? If you want to pull that guy out and do whatever to save that guy and preserve that guy, I'm good.
Yeah, did you see the NFL is now starting on Wednesday
instead of Thursday.
These fucking bitches, man. They will just go and go and go, man. I mean,
they are, man.
It's unbelievable.
What'd you make of the signing of Elijah Moore?
I think it's interesting.
How so? Because you know what? Here's a topic, Lee.
I don't buy for a second that what John said that has nothing to do with A.J. Brown. I don't buy that for a second.
So
they signed a Hollywood Brown duplicate who happened to be best friends and roommates with the prima donna who wants to get traded.
So you agree with me then that this is a sign that AJ's for sure gone at April? No.
I think they're trying to mend the bridge, and if it's bad, it's easy because they're going to cut him anyway.
So they're going to walk around on their knees to make it feel better by hiring a buddy?
Elijah Moore doesn't cost anything. He's a camp body. I mean, they were signing a camp body anyway. It's not like this is,
So you're signing a guy to make the other guy feel better about himself?
I don't know. I think you're trying to make an environment.
In horse racing, they're called fluffers.
They're trying to create an environment where AJ Brown's not a fucking mope.
Hey, AJ, here's your buddy. We're gonna bring him in here, and you guys can sit around here and talk about whatever, talk about life and all this other shit, and keep you off social media. And we gotta. So wait a minute. Nick's got a bodyguard in Big Dom, and now AJ's got a whoopee in Elijah Moore. This is some fucking setup. There's some setup going on. This thing never lacks.
Hey, you know what I was wondering? I couldn't believe on your Monday program that you didn't ask this question. I couldn't believe it. Why was Devontae Smith out there at the flag football thing and not AJ Brown?
I know that. I know. Why didn't I wonder if Brady picked those guys.
I don't know about that. Maybe, but so Brady picked Devontae Smith?
I don't know.
I'm just wondering.
I thought Brady had a lot to do with the influence of who went there. And I'll just say this to you too. There's no way
AJ Brown's best days are.
Oh, look at how you're convincing yourself of this.
I'm not convincing myself of anything.
I don't think his best days are behind him.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. He's got 1 year left tops. Matt.
You're hoping.
Wait, all right. At their peak, you think Devontae Adams was better than AJ Brown?
No.
What? Devontae Adams at his peak? You take AJ Brown
at his peak? You mean now? Today? No, he's not better than him today.
Okay, and when
in his peak? I don't think he's better than. I think Antonio Brown's better than both them guys.
Well, Antonio Brown's a fucking
okay. No, I don't think he's better than Devontae Adams, but I think Devontae Adams was an elite top flight wideout, one of the best in his decade.
Well, how good was Devontae Adams at 29, 30 years old?
Well, he led the NFL in touchdown receptions last year.
Okay, and he had 789 yards. In 2022, when he was 29 years old, he had 1,500 yards. The years after that, he had 1,100, 1,000, 200 or 1,000 and 789.
Okay, and where was he playing?
Devontae Adams is probably a Hall of Fame player.
Who were the quarterbacks that he was playing with at them stops?
That's a fair question. Raiders. Raiders and Aaron Rodgers and the Jets at the Jets. He had 854 there in 11 games. Pretty good, actually. 854 in 11 games. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And then last year we had Stafford 789 in 14 games.
If you put that over 17 games at 800 yards, he has 1,400 yards.
I'm just saying the last 3 years have been a steep decline. This is what happens when receivers get to this age. Do you believe that A.J. Brown is about to defy aging?
No, I believe A.J. Brown's volumes of targets are going to go up in a pass offense with Josh McDaniels.
Separation anymore, dude.
Josh McDaniels, Sean Filet Mignon. Who do you think he's going to get the fucking ball to? I mean, Sean Mannion doesn't know how to get the ball to anybody. Josh McDaniels does. And if you don't I don't think he's Randy Moss. Because when Randy Moss.
You think?
But Randy was 30-something when he got to New England, and he had 20 touchdown catches.
And Randy Moss is Randy fucking Moss, and he can be reserved for his own conversation.
I think Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady also helped that.
Sorry, guy. A.J. Brown isn't Randy Moss. Now you sound like McMullen, who said he's better than
so wait a second here.
Wait. John McMullen says A.J. Brown's a better receiver than Terrell Owens, a guy who has the third most receiving yards in the history of the National Football League. He's how many touchdowns does Terrell Owens have? 160?
Name me a significant quarterback outside of Donovan McNabb you ever played with.
I mean, what a crock of shit that conversation was.
Hey, think about this. Name me a quarterback outside of Donovan McNabb with Tony Romo. Then give me another one. He played with Steve Young early in his career. Other than that, he played with stiffs. And he's third all time in almost every category. Now, personally, for me, I would think that the two most gifted wide receivers I've ever seen talent-wise are Megatron and Randy Moss. Those are the two most talented.
Wow. No Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice was a fucking just an incredibly gifted wideout, but dude, he ran a 4.7 at the combines. There was even one pro day he ran 4.8. You saw him he went to Mississippi Valley State. He ran a 4.8 in a pro day. And Bill Walsh still drafted his ass.
Look at Twiz. Yo, Twiz, I know you live out in the fucking boonies and you got your own fucking razor and you don't have to answer to nobody and you beat to your own drum and you just smoke your cigarettes and you don't have to, when you play for a team, Twizzler, there's more to it than just telling the truth. Yeah, I told the truth. Yeah. Woo! I told the truth. Yeah, Twiz. Twiz is out in the fucking boonies.
Why do you think he's lost a step?
What do you mean? He's clearly lost a step. The guy gets no separation. He's got lead in his cleats, and he's got a degenerative name. He's 29 years old.
Wow, man. And you want a one for him?
That's what I'm saying. Get the one. I can't believe I'm with Senor all of a sudden. Get the one, baby.
Yeah, out of all that, you think? Wait a minute. How he's
the passing offense sucked with A.J. Brown.
You just called this guy. Who cares? You just called this guy the fucking sinking Titanic, and you want this, and you're like, hey, I want a 1 and a 3, but the guy's dog shit.
I didn't say he was dog shit. That's not what I said. I said,
a fucked up knee. He's losing a step. I mean, we're sounding like this guy's falling to pieces here.
I'm just saying, if you can get a 1, it's your last opportunity.
Do you think they've placated too much for him during this whole process?
Maybe. I mean, they started giving him targets and the Eagles started losing football games. Where's my boy Philadelphia in the chat? What happened, Philadelphia? What, they start throwing A.J. Brown and we start losing games? Yeah, they started the year 4-0.
Oh my! Here's Elijah Moore here. I got his numbers. Ready? 535.
Yards last year.
535. 43 catches. New York Jets. 446. 37 catches. 1 tutty. Then in Cleveland, 59 catches. 640 yards and 2 TDs. Another year, 61 catches. 538 and 1. Buffalo, 112 yards, 9 fucking catches, 0. How you doing, Timo? Man, you guys like them. You guys like them fold-out chairs, don't you, man? And the picnic tables.
This is what this chat like.
You guys signed a fucking
Noah Moran, Zander like self-driving Teslas. No,
hey,
you know that's not even true. That's what the guppies in this chat like to use.
Hey, you guys signed a picnic table.
Well, somebody's got to keep AJ. I'll tell you, you want one take that you were so right on? I'll give you one take you were right on. AJ Brown is a fucking diva. Oh my gosh, is this guy a diva? John's trying to tell me this word. The other day we had Chris Franklin on, and he's like, "You want Stephon Diggs? That's a real diva." I'm like, John, are you going to sit here and really tell me that AJ Brown is not a diva?
AJ Owens.
The guy was reading a book on the sideline, whimpering about the passing offense. Come on, man.
He's become my favorite sports guy over the last year.
Brian, get a grip, Brian. He is a diva. Diva. He's the best wide receiver one. Nobody said anything about the talent.
No.
Was T.O. a diva?
Yeah.
No, Jerry Huff. Was T.O. a diva?
Yep.
Yes or no?
Yep.
Exactly right. He was a diva. He could still be a good receiver, but he's a diva.
Yes.
I used to tell you he wasn't a diva.
Both are true, though, dude. Oh, but I've started seeing the light on this guy now a little bit. I mean, I wake up every day, pray. Hey, guess what I did yesterday, folks? Zander saved me from. I said, "Oh my God, he's in bankruptcy," and I go, "Oh my God." Zander goes, "That's Antonio Brown." I'm like, "Fuck."
That's a pretty badass home, by the way. Antonio Brown is selling down there. Where was that thing?
That's over in Odessa. It's near Tampa.
That's right.
It's near Tampa. It's over on the Clearwater side.
Dude, I'm moving to Florida. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna rage about it for the next 15 months, and then I'm gonna move to Florida.
Listen to this. You ready for this one here? I'm gonna show you something. Wait.
If I move to Florida, will that finally get you to move to Florida?
Yes.
How's Kim feel about moving to Florida?
Good. I want to show you something. Watch this. 10,000 square feet. Rent, I'll do in Bradenton. We'll go Bradenton. That's Tampa. Bradenton.
Yeah, I know what Bradenton is.
Okay, Bradenton. Okay, I'll show you something here. Okay. All right, you ready for for a 10,000 square foot.
Look at Bob Brown, Florida's closed. Fuck off, Bob. I love Florida people who say that. Where they wreck my state? Well, Bob, you guys have a good state.
Okay. Are you ready for this? Okay. This is in Bradenton for a 10,000 square foot home.
That's massive.
Here's one. That's a pretty big spread, right?
That's a pretty big spread, yeah.
Okay.
I could do with that.
Okay, ready? 3-bedroom, $2,600 a month for rent. Give you another one here.
How much?
$2,600.
Are you kidding me?
No. And let me give you another one here. Now, again, you got to know where to look. Homes for rent. Here's another one here.
Yeah,
all right, here, look.
I don't even want to talk about this.
Here's a 5-bedroom, $2,815 in Bradenton.
I could build like 2 studios in there.
Here's another one. Get this.
Look at Ryan. Ryan, make room, Ryan. I am coming, and none of you are stopping me.
Watch this one here. Look at this one. Okay, get this. What's this in square footage? I see. Here's one here. 3,000 square feet. It's closer to Tampa. 2,640 for $3,000. 3,000 square feet.
You're right. I gotta buy. I'm with Senor. I gotta buy. I don't want to rent.
I'm just talking rents. Kind of tell you a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sig Lord's moving to Florida too. Sig, nice, dude. Nice.
Bro, I mean.
How many people watching right now live in New Jersey? What an absolute.
I can't believe their taxes have absolutely
Oh my Lord. What a train wreck. What a train wreck.
What's happened?
What are you talking about? Bad policy.
Bad politics?
Terrible politics. It is what it is, you know? All right, get me out of here, dude.
Hold on, I got one more last one here for you. What has better? One last one here for you. Who has a better season this coming year? Cowboys or Eagles?
Eagles. Talk about. Cowboys got to prove it, dude. You don't get to win Super Bowls in March. All right? And I think Holmes was smart enough to know that. All right? I'll admit this. They've done some solid things. But what does that mean? You know? I mean, Eagles have proven it. Eagles have been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. Eagles have a trophy on the mantle. You know? Cowboys got to prove it.
So you think equity matters when you're giving benefit of doubt? I do.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest difference between the two teams, though, is what you've talked about. I mean, it's the front offices. I mean,
yeah.
You know, the Eagles have been able to build a roster, not only build it, but have turnover and still be able to sustain success. But the Cowboys haven't been able to do that as well. You know, where I think Eagle fans are asleep on the Cowboys is they're returning the best offense in football last year, and they have a lot of assets to use on the defense. Now, you still got to use the assets right, but I do think Rashawn Gary's going to make them a little better. I think they're going to be better. So we'll see. We'll see how good they're. I'm with Philly 5. You know, Philly 500 is right. December rolls around, and what happens? It's crickets. It's fucking crickets in Dallas.
You know what I do like, though, is you notice Mark Holmes' personality? How he's more calm and he's like in a better place.
Mark is enjoying the offseason. This is the best offseason Mark's had in a while.
It's almost like he's been released from like lockup. And he's like in really good, like, you know, he goes to one of those places, those psychiatric places. And I think all year long, Cowboy fan is locked in a psychiatric home. And they're just all just weirded out because they don't know what. And then all of a sudden, when the season's over, they're all let out and they're all calm. And then when the season starts approaching, all of a sudden their afflictions start. You know what their affliction is? Bad football.
It really is. All right, Steelers, good show.
All right,
today,
dog. I will see you in the morning, my friend. Thank you so much, man.
Later, brother.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. I did put the Dallas Cowboys as my 10th best team in the upcoming NFL season, and I got the Eagles 13th. I don't know. There's just something about the Dallas Cowboys. And you know what I'm going to do to Mark Holmes before I bring his ass in here? I'm going to put his ass on the firing line this year. This is the last year that I'm going to give the Dallas Cowboys any freaking benefit of the doubt because I do think that they've done some good things. And I think the Eagles again. And by the way, Philly 500 thinks I load the deck against him when he rolls in here. He thinks I'm glazed donut all over the Cowboys. I'm a Dak guy. And then, you know, he's like, Sills, how come I get all the hardball questions? And how come Mark Holmes gets all the softball questions? Well, Philly, you've been a champion. Champions get harder questions. Snowballs get snowballs. Without further ado, one of the best segments. By the way, I've had some of the greatest guests in the last couple months on all of my shows, and I love this segment the most. I'm not lying. Two of the best content creators. First and foremost, the man, the myth, the legend, who drives Philadelphia Eagle fans crazy, and I would think also Cowboy fans crazy. That is the legendary maple syrup man himself, Mr. Mark Holmes.
Shit.
And we bring in the legend himself. We bring in Philly 500, one of the totally coolest guys I know. How you boys doing?
Yo. What's going on? How are you? Thanks for having us.
All right. Eagles still suck. There you go, right? Look at you, man. Look at this shirt.
This I'm sorry. I put this old shirt on.
Eagles still suck. Look at that.
I wonder where he got that idea from. maybe it's my Cowboys still stink that's got him a little bit rattled.
Oh,
But I don't need to make a shirt about it. Everybody already knows.
I hear you.
Right?
You know,
Everybody knows they
Billy, it's your world, man. I'm just trying to live in it, man. I'm just trying to get a little corner over here and just ride your coattails, man. Because like Zander said, y'all have 2 Super Bowl trophies sitting on the mantle. You know, our cupboard's bare.
Well, wait, you got 5.
I agree.
Oh, that's right. We do have 5, don't we?
Yeah.
You got 5
Yeah.
championships.
I mean, according to the VHS tapes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
That's right.
Mark.
Rewind. Be kind to rewind. So be kind, rewind.
What's the best move you've made so far, you think, in your offseason?
You asking me or Philly?
Yeah, you.
Best move. God, there's actually been quite a few good ones. I could say collectively, cap management probably is the best move because they were $56 million over. They ended up getting Rashawn Gary added into the mix along with PJ as well as the other players, and we're still sitting here with 14 million and still in a position to get more. Now, if you're going to say individual players, I'm going to say Rashawn Gary, and getting him for basically a $5.5 million hit would definitely be the best individual move.
Philly, what is the best move so far by Howard Roseman?
Signing Jordan Davis to an extension.
Okay.
Getting him locked up.
So internal business is that's the best one. Okay. All right.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go here. What's the worst move, Mark, you think the Cowboys have made? Or maybe that move hasn't been made yet that you want to see them make. So let's go down that lane. What move do you want to see them make in this offseason?
After finding out what the Cowboys were trying to do to get Max Crosby, I think trying to see if they can lowball and get him a little bit later after, probably after the draft.
They're still taking calls, by the way, the Raiders.
Yeah, right. And that's where the Cowboys, it seemed like they were pretty desperate to try and move and try and make that move. They were offering the 20 and the number 2. That didn't go. So then they supposedly offered the number 12 and a number 3. And there was another offer that was in there somewhere else in there. So, you don't go from saying, I want to spend that much, that now he's on the discount bin because of the degenerative knee. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do that. The other thing would be is we are in desperate need of a linebacker.
Philly, what's the one move you want to see your Eagles make here? Either before the deadline or either before the draft or before the June 1st deadline?
Edge rusher. You have to get yourself a veteran. I don't even think like a rookie edge rusher. Like, I think you need a veteran edge rusher that could come in and play right away. I think that has been really for the last 2 years. I think that's turned out to be the biggest mistake, was letting Josh Sweat go. For what they're paying him, 19-20 million, can't get Phillips under contract. So I would say that, and I would strongly consider getting into that Max Crosby bidding war maybe for him if possible.
They're still taking calls, by the way. As of yesterday, John Spytek is still taking calls reportedly here. Hey, Billy, the signing of Elijah Moore, you think that's writing on the wall for AJ, that he is clearly gone?
No, I think it's an insurance policy when he most likely stays, that you bring in somebody maybe to help him out in the locker room, maybe some of his.
So you hired a buddy for him?
Well, listen, they're going to send him to his team, his fan favorite team growing up. They're going to let him read a book on a sideline. They've already done so much for him. What's the difference?
See, to me, I mean, you're placating to a guy by hiring a buddy, and
I don't know if it's placating as much as it's, hey, you know what? We need this guy anyways. We like him anyways because Joe Douglas drafted him with the Jets. We like him anyways, and if we keep AJ Brown, he can help out in that locker room. So I don't think it is like the reason why they brought him in. But I think it's a bonus, right? If you had two guys and you had to choose between the two who you're going to sign, maybe that pushes you over to getting him.
You got a retort over there, Mark Combs, on that?
I'm just saying you are so full of shit. Wait, but you're literally saying that okay, we're trying to appease him by bringing in a buddy for him. That's
Why not?
like bringing in the damn vibe, but you're gonna bring the vibe bunny back for him too.
Well, they've done everything else for him, so why stop there? Why stop now? I don't think that's the main reason they brought him in, but I don't think it doesn't help. It doesn't mean AJ is going. That's for sure. I think it's, if anything, to maybe make the situation better for him. Maybe you bring in a voice, right? He's talked about mental issues before. Maybe having a buddy with that can talk to during the season, be there. Maybe there's something to it. I don't know. But if I had to guess, I don't think it hurts him staying at all.
How about this one here, Mark? If they don't trade him this year, they'll never get a one for him ever again.
No, are you?
I
sure
mean, they'll never get a one for him again. I mean, I think they'll get a one for him now.
If you can't get a one for him now, then let's not even talk about it. It's not even a conversation.
No, I think you do get a one now for him. I don't think you get a one for him next year.
You have to have a one, or it's not a conversation.
Yeah, but the next year you're talking 3s and 5s.
Who gives a shit? I don't care about that. I don't care about next year.
He's only here one more year. Why wouldn't you want to get the one?
All I'm saying is, if you don't get a one right now, everybody wants to keep talking about moving AJ Brown, but I always start with, what's the compensation? If we're talking about not getting a one, then it's not going to happen. So why talk about it?
All right, here. How about this here, Mark? What's the future of George Pickens?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because a lot of the mock drafts have the Cowboys taking Carnell Tate and then trading George Pickens for a second. And I'm sitting here thinking, George Pickens for a second would be stupid. That would be, if you're telling me that AJ Brown is a number one and the Cowboys would take a second for him, I guess you could look at that and say that's better than what we did with Amari Cooper for a fifth. But that would be the dumbest shit right there. I think what's actually happening is that the Cowboys are doing what the Eagles did with Dallas Goedert. I think the Eagles played Dallas Goedert and said, hey, go out there, see what's out there, and find out that nobody's willing to jump for him, and that he comes back and they get a great deal. And I think the Cowboys, by putting him out there where it's the unrestricted tag, let David Melagetta go around, talk to some teams, and see that nobody's going to bite at that price tag. And hopefully they end up getting a better deal. That's at least what I think the Cowboys are doing. Go ahead, Philly.
What do you think, Philly?
That's not what the Eagles did with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert never became a free agent. Dallas Goedert stayed and wanted to stay with the Eagles. So we worked and they worked and they worked and they were able to figure out something. He never became a free agent. And plus, if that was the case, it's completely different when you have a receiver in his prime who you franchise tag. You still can't work a deal out with him. Dallas is pathetic, always trying to be cheapskates, and this is why they always get burnt.
How about this one here, though, Mark? If you're not sure what the future is of George Pickens, could you see them trading him on draft night?
It probably would take, somebody falling there. I mean, if it ends up being like a CeeDee Lamb type of player that drops right there and they can grab him, they might go ahead and entertain that.
He was the highest rated free agent of all free agents.
I know he was
in the NFL. And so, what I'm saying to you is,
with the Cowboys.
But here now, if you move that guy and you get a rookie contract and you counteract the rookie contract with CeeDee's money that he's making, it makes more sense to have one guy in a rookie deal and another guy in a $35 million deal.
It does, unless he ends up being like regular.
Well,
right. Okay. There is no guarantees out there in the draft. We've seen guys that have been highly touted, drafted in the first round, and can't bust a grape.
We've seen them Smith before.
Here's where Zander with the, I'm gonna call him the Kango Kid now because he's got the Kango hat on. It was talking about the Cowboys offense, number one offense coming back. If you get rid of George Pickens, you look to see everybody else's production on that team go down. Javonte Williams is going to start facing more 8 men in the box. CeeDee Lamb's going to get more double covered. You need to have George Pickens out there.
What's he asking for? What's it going to cost? Well, I mean, JSN
well,
just got what, like $40 million?
42.15.
Yeah, pay Pickens $40 million. Go ahead.
I
think that'd be great.
Right there. I think he's CeeDee Lamb, 36, 37.
He probably wants more than that, I would assume, right?
Does, but the Cowboys, if worst comes to worst, they have him on the franchise tag.
Here's my take on Pickens. He's a $40 million wide receiver with Matthew Stafford, with Jalen Hurts, and an offense, not Hurts, but with an offense like that, he's a $30 million receiver. I think it depends on what, like in Kansas City, that guy's a $40 million receiver in Kansas City because it's high volume. The Eagles are not a high volume. I'm not trading for a guy like that. High volume.
Who are we talking about?
I'm talking about Pickens. I'm talking about
Pickens, but he don't play for the Eagles, though. He plays for Dallas, which is a high volume throw.
What I'm saying is, what would the price be? It would determine on what the quarterback and team is, because he's going to be more valued at a high volume place than a low volume place.
So that's going to cost Dallas even more.
Well, no, it's going to cost the opposing teams. If I'm saying trade him, Philly, I'm saying I'm saying don't get to that point, because listen, I mean, how many years do you think Dak's got left in Dallas, in your opinion?
3 at most. That's
3. And you're going to sign. Then are you going to sign Pickens to a 3-year, $40 million annual?
Well, here's the thing: if we take that $42.15 million deal, you know what his first year cap hit is? $10 million. You know what the second year hit is? 15.9. Third year, it's at 35 with a trigger that can reduce it by 14. If you are really serious about busting the bank and talking about winning, you go ahead and get Pickens signed now. And if you gave him CeeDee Lamb's contract, CeeDee Lamb was 8.9 the first year, 14 the second, and right now he's 19. That's doable if you want to do that.
Is Dak Prescott on the other side of the ninth? Is he on the other side right now? Is he going up the back 9 right now? Do you think he's at hole 16, 17, 18?
I'm going to say at 15, because we've seen quarterbacks playing into their 40s.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
And when you saw how he played last year, no hiccups whatsoever. I think he actually needed more time to get over the ankle injury as well as the hamstring being pulled. So right now you saw him completely healthy. He's already working out for this year and doesn't have distraction of getting married next month. So maybe
he's banging prostitutes at the rest stops. We know.
Oh man,
get it over with and done. Now I got my free time. Okay,
you think
the best years, you got that honey-do list you got to take care of.
You think the best years are behind Jalen Hurts? There's Philly.
No,
even if he doesn't run the ball.
Well, I think hopefully he will run the ball some, but no, I don't think so. I think Jalen's got another good 4 or 5 years left easy. I do think Dak's in the second last year with Dallas. I do think he's probably 17 or 18.
Would you draft a quarterback this year? I'll talk to you first, Mark, and then I'll ask Philly. Would you draft a quarterback this year?
Some people say you should draft a quarterback every year.
Yeah, I agree with that one too.
Okay, because you never know.
Take that back. Do you think we should use a high volume pick to pick a
I don't think that there's any quarterbacks in here that use a high volume pick.
Okay.
I mean, you really look at it as a two quarterback race right now as first rounder. So no, I'm not used. I don't have a second rounder.
Okay. How about you, Philly? Do you think the Eagles should draft a QB?
No, not early. I don't. I wouldn't be surprised like late, but early, no, not yet.
What are you going to do?
I wouldn't put it past him though. It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm with him, and I agree with that, because that's an old Bill Polian line. You should draft a quarterback in every freaking draft. Yeah, it just depends on where you are in that draft. What are you going to do with Tanner McKee?
I think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to trade him. I don't know.
Isn't he going into his last year of his contract? Isn't he going into?
He's going into his last year of his contract. Yeah. So I think they're going to try to trade him. We should say. I don't know when. It could be around training camp. It could be at the draft, but I do think they would like to move on from him.
Mark, what's the draft philosophy in your opinion? Where should Dallas go in the draft?
Well, if you listen to Shoddy yesterday at the pro day with Texas, he likes what the moves that they've made as far as the team and as far as filling in some of the holes. The rumors are that the Cowboys are interested in trading for a linebacker, and he's looking for best player available. Unfortunately, and Howie knows this, when I think Howie Roseman actually admitted this, when you are basically stuck on one position, that usually you're reaching, and that's when you get in trouble. So the Cowboys are going to look and say, best player available, whoever falls to us.
Are you still in the O-line or edge for the draft, Philly?
O-line. I think you have to address the O-line in the draft. I really think it's important to get an edge rusher in a veteran edge rusher. Like, to me, drafting a rookie edge rusher, I mean, I don't know how much that helps you immediately. I think you need a veteran edge rusher. And then I think you need to go early in the draft. That kid from Penn State is my guy I want. I don't know if he's going to be there, Vega, but I think you need offensive line, man.
Mark, I want you to play along with me here with Philly, and I got a question for him here. Philly, I want you to play along with me here. In the next 24 months, okay?
Okay.
Next 24 months, I want to ask you about your offense. I'm going to take
24 months. I'm just vision. I could see Dallas lose it again. You want me to tell you the future?
No, I'm talking about how he's going to retool your.
Okay. I'm sorry.
How he's got to retool. How he's got to retool his team in 24 months.
Okay.
Okay, you tell me if that. No. I want to hear what you, because I brought this up earlier.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
You think Howie's not thinking 2 years out?
No, I was just thinking that if I had to envision the next 24 months, I could see all Dallas's losses again, and I just was going to tell you all about it. But I'll talk about the Eagles.
In the next 24 months,
do
you think Saquon Barkley's on this team?
Yes.
A 31-year-old guy making $20 million. Okay.
I think 2 more years. Yeah.
Do you think AJ Brown's on this team in the next 24 months?
No.
Okay, no. So that's wide receiver 1. Okay. Devontae Smith, I absolutely agree. Hollywood Brown, probably not, right?
Right.
Dallas Goedert.
No.
Okay. Jordan Mailata.
Yes.
Yes. Landon Dickerson.
I'm going to say yes.
Broke down.
Wow. Okay. I said no. Cam Jurgens.
Yes.
Okay. Tyler Steen.
Yes.
Lane Johnson.
No.
Okay. So the reason that I don't think Steen, I think Steen's replaceable because if you draft an O-lineman, he's going to be on the bench.
I agree. But you said, would he be on the team?
Okay. Yeah, I got it. You're right. I don't think Landon's going to be here because of the restructuring of the contract that he did. So
he might not be.
The way I look at it how he's got it in the next 24 months, because I'll go back 13 months. I mean, look at the 13 months that you had just last year, February 9th in the Super Bowl. Look at all the differences that you have on the defensive side of the ball now. So in the next 24 months, Howie Roseman's got to replace 8 of the 11 starters on offense. Okay.
Now do Dallas.
No. What I'm going to ask you first, well, Dallas is not a Super Bowl contender.
That's true.
Okay.
True.
So is it not smart to trade AJ to get more equity and more assets right now to keep and build that football team up and to have more draft picks? You're going to get compensation picks. You're going to get that 3rd rounder back, right? From the Jalen Phillips deal, him signing with Carolina next year. So isn't it over the next 2 years, you want to build as much cap equity up as you can and move AJ Brown now?
2 things. 1, are we talking about a 1st-round pick in return?
For AJ, yeah. I'm talking about New England's 1.
Okay. And then the second thing is, do the Eagles think they can win this year? Because if they think they can win this year, You can't tell me you're not a better team without A.J. Brown. You're better with A.J. than without him. So if you really think you have a chance to win this year, why do you get rid of a guy? But I will say this, it's not totally dumb at all, and I don't mind it if you get the right compensation. But it's got to be a first-round pick at minimum.
For you and your draft picks that you have, Mark, and all the moving that you've done, I think the Quinyon Williams move is exceptional. By the way, I'm in the minority when it comes to this. I think you moving off of Micah has made you better in the long run. It's made you better.
Yes. Yes.
Are you confident that the front office is going to land on these pods with all the equity that you have now in draft picks? I mean, you can also, the reason that I brought, the reason I brought up trading Pickens, maybe what you want to do too, to expedite your roster getting better, is to trade Pickens and get more equity, 2s, 3s, 4s, stuff like that to build the roster up. So are you confident with Jerry Jones right now?
Here's the thing. It's like the tale of two cities with the Cowboys. When they draft first-round offensive players, they pretty much have been butter. When they fail, it's drafting defensive players. When you look at Taco Charlton, you look at Mozzie Smith and things, they've had a lot of misses on their defense, and not just first round, second rounds ones as well. First round picks, they're butter. First offensive picks, they're butter. Defense, it scares me when they're drafting guys. It just has not panned out. The one trick has been Micah, but the rest of the highway has just been littered with bad defensive players.
Do you believe that Kenny Clark and Quinyon Williams are better than Davis and Carter?
Better?
I do.
That depends on what Jalen Carter we see next year. If we see the Jalen Carter, he is.
Mark don't even believe it, Sills. That was a no. He don't believe it,
bro.
I'm not sure.
Are you saying to me, Philly, that you think that Quinyon Williams is not a better player?
I'm telling you, Mark just does not believe it himself.
Okay.
Let me see what the coaching staff we have, because the problem we had was our coaching staff last year
16 sacks one year.
Okay, it literally you can't judge what anybody did last year with that coaching staff we had. Everybody was out of position. Nobody knew what the hell was what. So let's see what this coaching staff does. I'm not going to be up here like Zander said. I'm smart enough to know to not say we're going to be great. We're headed for the Super Bowl. No, let me see what we got. We're still in freaking March.
He had 12 sacks in 23. And the guys right now got 41 and a half sacks, and he's never been below. Last year when he got traded, didn't have a productive, but when he came to the Cowboys, I thought he transformed your front. Okay. So for you on Jordan Davis, and you're paying a guy $26 million, you believe he's going to develop into a 3-down defensive tackle. Is that right?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think Jordan Davis showed us, we know how athletic he is. So he's got the physical tools to be able to do it. He's got a desire to want to get better. And if he continues to do and work the way he did, I don't see why he can't. I don't think there's anything stopping him. I think Clint Hurt is a great defensive line coach. And I think that, I think Jordan Davis has the ability to do it.
Okay. So, Philly, I want to ask you this, philosophy-wise of Howie. And you tell me, okay? And you guys keep saying this, that you can't pay everybody, right? And by the way, you become a victim of your own success, right, Mark? I mean, you draft well, your guys pan out, they play well, right, Philly? I mean, okay. Mm-hmm. So you want to pay Q, or what will be the market value will be $30 million. Cooper's probably going to be in that range. Would you not agree? 30 million, somewhere in there? Okay.
Yeah.
Carter's probably going to be 40, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
35, 40. Well, I just saw a guy in Jalen Phillips go for 40 or 30.
Well, he's an edge rusher, right? You're talking about interior defensive tackle. You're talking about
let's do this. What's his name? Chris Jones makes $32 million right now. It's the highest paid.
All right, so that's about 35, let's say.
35.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. 35. You just paid another guy 26. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you got Bond at 17. So my point is going to be, you're going to pay you're probably not going to pay Bond because you got Campbell there. So what I would say is this: you're going to pay those 4 guys $150 million, and you're going to fill the rest of the unit with Timu guys.
Yeah.
In 2024, you never paid a guy above outside of play $7 million.
Well, I think you saw the philosophy last year, right? At the safety position. We're seeing it now. You go out and you draft a guy like Andrew Makuba in the second round, and you plug him in and you play him right away. I think they're going to do the same thing at safety. They probably figure if we could get 2 safeties in the draft that are rookie contracts, that takes some of the pressure off what we're paying those guys for 3-4 years. And I think that's how they're going to do it. I don't think you're going to see the Eagles go out and sign a lot of mid-level guys. I think they're going to sign those guys at the high end. Then they're going to look in the draft and young players with talent on rookie contracts to come in and fill those positions. That's what I would do.
Okay, so I mean, do you think the draft or free agency is more of a gamble?
Well, I think probably there's 2 ways to look at it. A lot of times free agents don't work out, but I think you're never going to be 100% on the draft. So the draft's probably more of a crapshoot.
Is Jerry Jones, in your opinion, Mark, better at the draft or free agency or trades?
I'm going to say, well, we very rarely, it just recently started doing trades again. We don't usually get in the deep end of free agency. You have to say the draft. That's how the Cowboys have been. Cowboys, I believe, over the last 11 season are at the very bottom of free agency spending.
Huh. Why is that?
Because
of the money to Dak?
As Stephen Jones would say, he said, you're going to pay great money for just good players. And he's like, if you end up having to sign free agents, it's because you messed up in the draft. They don't like to spend money, big money in free agency. We still have yet to spend $10 million on individual free agents since Brandon Carr.
Billy, what's your biggest concern going into OTAs minicamp as you prep up for September? What would be the number one question mark for you? I don't say concern. How about question mark about the football team?
The health of the offensive line. I think that is a giant question. And I think if that doesn't get fixed and resolved, then I don't care who your offensive coordinator is. I don't care what you're trying to do. You're going to have problems. Obviously, I think immediate need like today, right now, before the draft, you got to get an edge rusher. But in terms of going into the season, I really want to see how healthy is Landon Dickerson? How healthy is Cam Jurgens? If we get those guys from a few years ago, we're going to be pretty good. If we don't, then we've got to replace those guys and got to get some people in here from the draft that can play. So I think the offensive line is my number one.
Here's one thing I want to throw at you. I think hiring a guy who's never called plays, it's like going on a blind date. I mean, you just don't know what you're getting when you show up at the blind date here. I mean, this is a blind date.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Except for I think when your initial girlfriend is so dog ass ugly that no matter who you go out with on your blind date, she can't be as bad. Okay, Petula was ass. All right, how bad? How much worse can this guy be? Really? Come on. That's what I think.
Can he be Brian Johnson ugly?
I think Brian Johnson. I think he got a lot of the blame.
I do.
That he shouldn't have.
I do too. Dak's year coming up. Are we looking at another stellar season, MVP candidate year?
If they keep George Pickens and the offensive line stays healthy, yeah. Definitely.
You think he's a 4,600-yard passer, 4,500 in there?
He's done it before.
All right. A couple last ones.
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll do it because they'll be losing by 20 points how many games? Of course he's going to throw more. You got no choice. What's
Jalen going to do this year in this new high-powered
offense? I think Jalen's going to throw. I think his passing numbers are going to go up some.
3,200?
I think his turnovers are going to go up some. But I think that
and we have to be patient on those.
And we have to be patient on those. I totally agree with you. But I think if the running game.
I'll tell you what. You'll never hear me say this. How many passing attempts is Dak's biggest year?
How many passing?
How many passing attempts did he have in 1 year? Did he go over 600 1 year?
I don't know.
I think he may have.
Because if he goes over 600 And Hurts
That's
has
that's not where you really want to be. You want to be
well,
more.
if he has that usually means you're behind. But if Jalen Hurts has 550, 570 attempts and he's got 10 picks, 11 picks, I'm going to live with that.
Well, yeah.
I'm actually 400.
I'm actually a little excited. I think we're going to see a lot more from the short passing game, a lot more rollouts, a lot more of those kind of things that I think should have been doing with Jalen Hurts for a long time.
Yeah, it's 600 this year. That was his highest.
Yeah, because the defense blew dog.
Mm-hmm.
The bad defense like blew up Dak's numbers. Of course,
they had to. That's the only way you're in games.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I mean,
that's
if you're going to be in a ball game and your defense is 32nd, I mean,
when you needed that game against the Minnesota Vikings and J.J. McCarthy, he went out there
and you see, you didn't fire back and say they got beat by a JV 49er team.
That's okay. I'm just biding my time. I'm just here.
Mark went like this with his shirt, tried to put his shirt on camera. I saw what he did.
Billy, all good, man. I'll tell you what, this has been one of the most entertaining off seasons so far. I got to tell you, I wake up every day and I look at AJ Brown news. I look at all. Don't you think there's too much? I mean, you're making more noise than the Cowboys now.
I hate it. I absolutely am. I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk about AJ Brown again today. No, like I don't look forward to it. I'm so sick and tired of it.
How come you're in that? You have the shittiest, eatingest grin every time you come in here. I don't know what it is. I think Philly's dead on.
It's March.
It's March.
No. Okay. Truth be told, listen, I want you to understand. The Cowboys, maybe for most teams, what the Cowboys have done this year isn't a lot. But for the Dallas Cowboys, this has been the busiest offseason that we've had in probably the last 15 years.
Agreed.
We don't do shit until the draft. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe we're still trying to sign players, that we are actually trying to do something. So that's why I'm happy.
I think it's underwhelming. I think they've been underwhelming, to be honest with you.
Okay, but underwhelming is actually an improvement for what the Cowboys usually do.
That I don't disagree with.
If you think the Cowboys are underwhelming, I mean, all these Eagle signs that you guys have made, what have you guys?
Well, I think I mean, look, for the Cowboys and the Eagles, it's March, so I'm not going to sit there and say that things can't still happen.
Yeah, but when you say that,
for the amount, but the Eagles don't have the holes that Dallas needs to replace a whole new defense. Right. The Eagles don't. So I just thought Dallas was going to be a little more aggressive, like
offense, though.
We don't need many holes on offense at all.
Kind of beat.
Yeah, I think our guys are going to be back healthy. I don't know how many years they'll have left, but I think they'll be all right. I do think it's interesting that nobody's talking about the tush push anymore. Isn't it interesting? They don't care about the health of the players now. Isn't that very interesting?
Hey, Billy, I think that the tush push, I think it aged your old line like dogs.
Oh, it did. I agree. I totally agree with that.
And you know what? When people were, Mark, I think everyone's laying off it right now because the Eagles, I think those offensive linemen, you can't tell me how in the world. I mean, Landon Dickerson's at 14 surgeries now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you got Cam Bergen getting a Brazilian butt tuck somewhere down in I mean, what the hell's going on?
Come on, we know why he was really down in.
You bet he was chasing the booty down there. That's what he was doing down there.
We know what he was doing down there.
He's down there chasing hoochie mama. I don't blame him, man. That's
called I like I said, that's the biggest. Like, I don't think we can have an answer until they go out and play, because I don't know where these guys are health wise, but they better get some reinforcements. And see, I also think that the Eagles with Stoutland there, they could get away with taking mid-round, later round offensive linemen because of his ability to develop them. You don't have that. You have to make sure. I think 2 of the first 4 picks should be offensive linemen, to be quite honest with you.
Unfortunately, I think one thing. I think that you're at the point with Lane Johnson that we were with Tyron Smith. Incredible player when they're healthy, but you just never know. He's going to be
We'll see.
constantly
We'll
breaking
see.
down.
We'll see. We'll see.
Wait,
He may
wait.
be Jason Peters. We'll see.
How about this? How about this one here, Mark? And then I'll ask Philly this. Who do you think has more reps this year, Lane Johnson or Fred Johnson?
I'm saying Lane. I believe Lane got one more good year left.
Boy, Fred played an awful lot of downs last year.
He did.
Boy.
He did.
I like the sign.
I mean,
by the way, I'm good bringing.
Oh, I thought it was good, but it's kind of hard. Like I don't know what kind of offensive lineman they're looking for. Like when you look at the draft prospect, like who do they want? A guy like Proctor? Is that the kind of line? I don't know what they want.
Boy,
so it's like
he's my favorite all line outside of Magala, the kid from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the kid from Miami's the best offensive tackle in the draft. After that, I think they're really kind of the same. I'd like to see Dallas get an O-lineman in there too.
I'd love the left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Dallas going in for offensive line. To me, the kid Bailey might be out of reach for the Eagles sitting down there unless Howie trades up and does something wild. I think everybody else, the kid Falk probably makes sense from Auburn, but I think they're all kind of that. Cassius Howell, I think, is undersized. I'm not really a big fan.
I want the kid from Penn State. I want him, and I want to put him right at right guard.
You know why I like
you
know why I like your take on that is because look at all the edge rushers that have come out of Penn State that have been successful in the draft. I mean, Abdul Carter still has to show up a little more, but look at the guys that have come out of that school there, edge rushing wise. They develop like Ohio State develops that position well.
Yeah.
Penn State does a really good at developing that. Fellas, I appreciate you guys very much.
You.
Mark, thank you very much as always. And Philly, thank you very much.
Thank you
guys.
Peace
Make
out.
sure you check out their great stuff. What's that?
Peace out.
Peace out.
I was just gonna say, build them Eagles up, Sills. Let's go, baby.
Let's
We're going
go,
back to the
baby.
Super Bowl.
Let's go. Super Bowl.
Let's do it.
Here you go.
go.
All right,
Peace.
guys. I appreciate you, man. Build them Eagles up. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I love those guys. Vegas, a stud. Seen every snap at Penn State. Who's the Cowboys' backup? I don't know who the Cowboy backup is. I don't know who their backup is. Andy Dalton by week 10. Book it. Andy Dalton by week 10. Oh, that's right. I believe it is. I think it could be Milton. No matter who teams have a backup, your season is over once your starter's gone for the year. I don't know about that. Eagles will be one and done again in the playoffs. Let's see what happens first. And then I'll give you my magical take on it again, like we were last year. One and done. One and done. One and done a year ago. Wrong. Let's see here. Joe Milton. I don't mind him. I don't. Hey, I'll say it again. I think the Cowboys, and I, have said this before, I think the Cowboys have done some really good moves. I think they're making, how about this? I'll take that back. I think the Cowboys have made moves that make sense this time. They make sense. Okay? Their moves make sense. There's some formula to it. There's a plan to it, okay? There's a plan. And I would say that again. And by the way, do I think that Jalen Carter has an opportunity? I said something earlier. Quinnen Williams is a phenomenal player. And last year, Jalen Carter was nowhere in the room of a conversation of that as a ball player. But the 24 version, if we see that again, he could be in that conversation. What the F is the plan with Pickens? That's bullshit. That's why I asked the question. What do you mean bullshit? The Cowboys have a plan. They franchise tagged him. What's your plan with A.J. Brown, Jimbo, in 26? What's your fucking plan with your number one wideout? Pickens is not their number one wideout. CeeDee Lamb is their number one wideout. That'd be like asking, what's the plan with Devontae? What's your plan with AJ? Okay, what's your plan with AJ? Do you know? So wait a minute. AJ Brown is a nothing burger until June 1st. Really? Okay. Right. Your whole entire draft fucking will not be dictated on where you go in your first 3 picks, not to take a wide receiver if you're trading that guy on June 1. So your draft philosophy and the signing of Elijah Moore had no bearing on that, right? Fucking dumb as hell. As usual. You have no idea what you're talking about. I hate the Cowboys, but they're positioning well in, because of the deal where they got Michael Parsons equity. The key with Vega, if he makes it past Baltimore, I could see him falling. Okay? All you got to do is just listen to the Eagles stuff every day. How you doing? Bro, the conversation is my topics. All of these 17 pages of fucking shit is based off of what you do every day and what you don't do. As a matter of fact, the majority of our guy, get the fuck out of here. I mean, let's see here. Let's see. No matter who teams have as a backup, that's right. Your season is over. I do like that kid, by the way. I do like that kid from Penn State. I don't know if he's a game-changing dude, though. Okay? I don't know if he's a game-changing guy at all. Thank you very much, Rasputin. Most of these people don't like to fucking hear what we do. Better than 4 hours of mock drafts that you see on them networks all the time. Absolutely. Really. So today we talked about the age of the fucking offense and replacing it. We also talked about the offensive coordinator without and with the new pieces of Hollywood Brown and with Elliott, what's his name? The new guy you just signed, Elijah Moore. We asked you about the defensive side of the ball on the draft and where you're going. Hey, Jimbo, you don't like it, you don't have to be here. This is not a draft. My plan, AJ won't be here. Smitty will stay my border receiver and don't know who's my field wide receiver. Sills, Pickens does concern me a little. Okay. Pickens does concern me a little due to limited route tree. That's why I say I would trade him. And I would try to get equity. And try to get as much as I can. If you got 3 years left with Dak Prescott, here's what I would go. I try to get my run game going again. You're not going to win. The Cowboys are not going to win the Super Bowl throwing the ball 600 times. They're just not. They're not going to win the Super Bowl winning by throwing 600 times. Okay? They're not. And at the end of the day, what they've done is they've acquired a lot They got a great haul, I think, with the Michael Parsons. And I'll say this again to you too, DFW. I think they're better now than where they were with Michael Parsons. James, I know, right? Here, let me see something here. So let me go here. Let me show you something here. So let me go here. Here's another one. Let's see. Adam Schefter. Conversation with 6 teams and A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles waiting until June 2nd. That's Schefter saying that, not me. Thanks for being here. Seals, they make our job so much. Oh, my God, do they? Are you kidding me? Asshats like this guy here and some of these other guys like Jimbo, are you fucking crazy? These guys are gold. I embrace these guys. They're never going anywhere. You know why? They're imbeciles. Limited route. What is that guy smoking? These people in it. I mean, no, because he's a Dallas Cowboy. The radio guys talk more AJ than JAKIB. They cover all sports. Talk more AJ than JAKIB, and they cover all sports. Yeah, well, because AJ, well, they don't know how to work a topic. That's why. It's okay. Thanks for being here. The thing I hate about Sills is when any of us criticize something another team does, he immediately refers back to the Eagles instead of the team we criticize. I never do that in my entire life. Cowboys have to produce it. You're hearing what you want to hear. None of that is true. If you criticize, who? Pick one. Dude, I'm an equal opportunity offender. Okay? Pick a team. But what you guys do is this. If I make you, then you call it excuses. See, Rang, if I say something and I'm critical of management with Buffalo, you blame Josh Allen. And if I'm critical of Jalen Hurts, you blame the coaching. So anytime I say something about Brandon Beane being a horrible general manager with the Buffalo Bills, you say it's excuses. That's where you go. I mean, okay. More on yesterday. Players' salaries show their worth. 2 minutes later, Jordan Davis overpaid. Once again, dickhead, you overpaid from day one, I said, for a 2-down player. You overpaid for him. Most of the time, when a player gets paid, he gets paid based on his accomplishments in a season. That's how players get paid. They don't get paid on winning. Players don't get paid for winning. Players get paid for their accomplishments. Where in the world do you see that players get paid for winning? Nobody gets paid for winning. Myles Garrett doesn't get paid for winning to make $45 million. They don't win. Jalen Phillips didn't get paid to win. He got paid because it's market value and it's what Carolina wanted to pay him. Okay? That's what Carolina wanted to pay him. Jalen Phillips is a good player. Jordan Davis is a one-dimensional player. He's a 2-down guy. You overpaid for it. You paid $26 million for a guy who can't do near the things that Milton Williams can do. 9, 7, 3, 5, 0 technique. Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis is making $26 million for being a 2-down, 1-gapper. You figure it out. What is Buck? There you go. So when you're critical of a franchise, you guys resort back to Josh Allen. Jalen Carter's agent just has to say, you pay $26 a year for a 2. Absolutely. It's a great take. Why do you think there's no contract for Jalen Carter yet? Price is 35 to 40. No doubt. Do you know what they did? They put $26 million on a 2-down guy. And Drew Rosenhaus is saying this right now. You think I'm signing for fucking $32 million? When you $5 million more, when you just gave a 2-down guy $26 million? Fuck out of here. Seals, if you were Rosenhaus, wouldn't this make it easier for Carter to get a contract? No. I'm going to wait a year. I'm not signing a bullshit contract based off of a down year and me being injured. Why would I do that? Barkley got a $20 million bonus after the 24-25 season, Sells. Again, why? You didn't have to extend him. You had just signed him to a 3-year deal, was it? In 24, you signed him in the offseason coming over from New York. Why'd you give him an extension the following year? What was the reasoning for that? 28. Carter's going to get minimum $38 million if he's healthy. Now look. I think you have to look at it this way here. Okay. Here, let's go here. Highest paid DTs. NFL. So Chris Jones makes $31.7. Okay. And his guarantees are $95 million. Jordan Davis makes 26. He's third. Milton Williams is second highest paid. Well, they're tied. Actually, Jordan and Milton are the second highest paid. Milton's a better player than Jordan Davis. Zach Allen makes 25. And Williams from the Cowboys makes 24. They're going to redo that deal. He's 29 now. Okay? He's 29. Milton's a better player right now. The Barkley deal was a thank you extension without thinking about the future. Yeah, well, and again, like you got people thinking that he's going to be on the football team at 32. We'll see. We'll see. We will. Okay? Let's see here. Dexter Lawrence will get a haul when he does his extension. I will have to get ahead of that for the 26th season. Let me see. Dexter Lawrence, 29. I don't think he's going to get more than $30 million. Because Davis is 26 right now. Milton is 27. They make the same money. Can you imagine that? The second highest paid defensive tackle in pro football. You guys let walk out of the building. What I would hate to have happen is that in 3 years from now, Williams turned out to be a better player than Carter. And you let the better player go. Now, that happens in every franchise. Okay? It happens in every franchise. Or how about this one? You let Milton go, and he turns out to be a better ball player than Jordan Davis. He's just as accomplished. He's got 2 NFC championship rings and a Super Bowl. And actually, he's got 2 NFC championships and an AFC championship ring and a Super Bowl ring now in the last 3 years. 4 years. Milton Williams. Milton Williams has 3 conference championship rings and a Super Bowl in the last 4 years. So you talk about a guy who's on successful teams and producing. What you're hoping for is that in 3 years, you look back at that and Milton's a better player. That's a misevaluation. And you had the guy in the building as a 3rd-round guy. And you looked at it, the only reason you kept him is because, now, I would say this. Listen, I'm not down on Jordan. Jordan had a really good year last year. He did. He had a really good year. But Milton Williams right now is the 2nd highest paid interior defensive tackle. He's $5 million off of what Chris Jones makes. And Carter's the next guy up here. Now, I'll keep asking the question like we did with Reed Blankenship. When do they sign Jalen Carter? One thing I appreciate about Sills is how many good questions he has prepared every week for Mark and Philly. It's impressive. Still hate you though, Sills. Thank you. That's my best. Here's this guy. If you compare dude, Moro Ajomo is not a better football player than Milton Williams. He's not a better player. What is hard for you to figure this, bro? Wait a second here. Let me get this. Bro, do you really believe that you think that Moro Ajomo is a better player than Milton Williams? Do you believe that? If you compare the stats, Ajomo's stats are damn near the same as Milton Williams last year. Sells book it. Okay. Well, what are you saying then? Then what are you saying? I'm curious. What are you saying? Okay. What are you saying? I love it. You were okay with Howie not paying. I never said that. You guys said it. I never said that. I said this when you did it. You're gonna let Allen and Milton go. And you had them in your building, you developed them, and you never kept them. Okay. That's your plan. I never said that. I never thought letting Milton Williams go or Josh Sweat go was a good move. I think the Jalen Phillips should kind of. Now, I'll tell you where it's going to be a bad move. If you trade for Jonathan Grenard and you pay him 30 and you trade draft picks away, it's a stupid move on what you did with Jalen Phillips. Because you surrendered 2 more draft picks and gave the guy the 30 and the $2.5 million that you wanted. This guy, keep posting away, guy. Nobody in your right mind is looking at Jalen Carter and saying Jalen Carter is a fucking better player. Or any, hey, guy, keep posting away. Thanks for the algorithm. That guy's a fucking retard. Who does Clint hurt like at edge? I'm not going there yet. A couple guys. Look where Williams was playing before he came to Dallas. It's not like he had much help in the D-line in New York. He was sensational in New York. And by the way, when he came to Dallas in that first game, he ate up Philly's interior offensive line. He ate them up. You tell me all the time you think Gennard is better than Phillips. Okay. I think he is. Oh, wait a second. Did I say Gennard's better than Phillips? I said Chubb's better than Phillips too. But if you're going to pay the 30, so you're going to trade more draft picks instead of paying the guy $2.5 million that helped your team win? Okay, make that make sense. So wait a minute. You'd rather not pay the 2.5. Like I said, don't pay him the 30, but you end up paying Jonathan Gennard $30 million and give 2 more draft picks away? You think that's smart? So wait a minute. Phillips is good when he plays, though. That's his problem. Wait a second. Again, $2.5 million versus 2 draft picks and $30 million. You think that's smarter than re-signing Phillips? Like I said, if you go in the draft and you draft an edge rusher, not paying Phillips, it's the right move by Howie. He trades for Jonathan Gennard and pays him 30, and you give 2 more draft picks away. That's stupid. And we get a third back we traded next year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We're getting the third back from the trade next year. Yes. If the Eagles sign their players, they're overpaid and overrated. Listen, if they let them walk, they're the greatest. Hold on. Okay. Here, we'll answer these questions here. If the Eagles sign their players, they're overpaid. I asked you, okay, let's go there. Do you believe that that giving Saquon Barkley and Cam Jurgens was the right move at the end of the day? Do you believe that? And do you believe letting Jalen Phillips, Milton Williams, and Josh Sweat walk was a good move? Answer the questions. Questions. And by the way, I said Milton Williams was a great player. Had a great year. Was on the AFC Championship team. So we're answering your questions here. Okay, so you believe that trading – so you think that Jordan Davis is a better ball player than Milton Williams. Do you believe that? Remember what I said to you about Milton? Milton's more versatile than Jordan Davis, so his value is worth more because you could play him at multiple spots. End, tackle, nose, wide 9. You could do more with him. And you could spread him around and create more defensive looks in their front 7. Davis, you can't do anything with. You have 3 good DTs and no edge rushers. Okay. So do you think this group is better? Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter versus Moro Ajomo, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Jelix Hunt. That's the last 2 years. Let's see here. Go to Connecticut. Are you taking your boat up? Are you taking your boat up to go to Connecticut? Are you? You going to go down the coast and up the coast there, brother? Let's see here. Somebody I want to talk to here. There we go. Seals, more changes offensive philosophy in week 5. How long until Mannion has to adjust if the Eagles offense gets off to a bad start? Week 4, dude. Completely week 4. Paddle boat. How you doing? He's taking the paddle boat up. All right, let me pay some bills here. My friends, the number 1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason is our friends at Morgan & Morgan. easiest decision you will ever make in your life. And that is, again, going with Morgan & Morgan. I tell you about the family in Florida. Make no mistake about it. They ended up getting a settlement of $350K initially. They ended up getting nearly $12 million in settlement. Or the family in Pennsylvania here got $650K. They ended up getting nearly $30 million in settlement. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
bathroom. Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
I would say my candidate to be for the NFL Coach of the Year. Hold on for a second here. I just got a letter from the Bucks. Interesting. Okay. NFL's changing their policy on mini camps and OTAs. So let's see here. 2026 NFL Coach of the Year candidates. 26 favorites. Let's see. Who would I take? Coach of the year. Okay, here they are. Here's who I'll take. I'll rank 3. 5. I'm going to go John Harbaugh. New York Giants. I'm going to go Jim Harbaugh. LA Chargers. I'm going to go Joe Brady. Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go Kellen Moore. New Orleans Saints. And 5. Who would I pick for my 5th one? Kevin Stefanski. Atlanta Falcons. This would be my top 5 guys. Maybe Andy Reid bounced back. That's a good call. The answer is Ben Johnson. Easy. If the Bears have success and Ben Johnson's system makes Caleb Williams look good, he deserves it. Seals, did you see the cap space for the NBA teams has decreased while the NFL cap space just keeps on increasing? Hey, Abe, how about this one? The ratings for the college basketball have gone through the roof, and the ratings for the NBA have plummeted. Why is that? Because nobody watches the NBA. College basketball, all-time ratings. Highest ratings for any NCAA tournament like ever. And why is that? Well, the NBA, they're a political like vehicle. They're not really like nobody's watching it. Hey, here's a better one. So Major League Baseball, like the Tampa Bay Rays, if you want to watch them this year on a TV and on a TV set, you got to subscribe. Get this. This is what you got to do tonight if you want to watch opening night of Major League Baseball tonight against, what is it, Yankees and Giants tonight. You know what you got to do? You got to buy fucking Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, you can't watch the opener tonight. So on top of my cable bill, I got to buy Netflix now and add that to my monthly cable bill is having Netflix. What's the point of having cable? Like, I get the NFL because the NFL could take us hostage, and they do. If you don't have Amazon Prime or Paramount or Prime Video, you can't watch the holiday NFL games any longer. Yeah, and they double dip their fans. It's bullshit. I mean, think about that. You paid $350, $300 for a cable, and now they're asking you to pay another $120 to get MLB.com or MLB TV. I mean, I think you're stupid. Okay? Yeah. And you pay for Spectre Vision. Double dips his chips. Yeah, no, I don't. No. Lobster. You cut the cord years ago? Yeah, it's free with T-Mobile. Dude, that's a KCA. I said that this morning on my show, that my radio show. I told people, I said, what's the point? You want to try to build a new stadium. Okay? Hey, wait a second. I'm gonna take Piatis's I'm gonna take his word at it. Spank Division is worth more than paying for NBA TV. Probably true. Probably true. Opening day, and I can't watch it. Yeah, that's a great way to sell your product. That's what makes the NFL so ridiculous. The NFL, man, they're still on lamestream television. Good question. Sills, random question. What's your favorite piece of sports memorabilia you own? My dog. That Leroy Selman jersey right there is probably one of them. Leroy gave me that. Leroy gave me that personally before he died. So let me see. Okay, so this is my NFL alumni crystal. This thing's heavy. The Bucks gave it to me. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Tiffany and Company. Let me see here if you can see that. Can you see that on there? Yeah, it's at the top. It's a Tiffany crystal. It says Tiffany right there. Tiffany. And the Bucks gave us all these. This is pretty cool. It weighs a lot. And it's an alumni from Tiffany's. And they gave me this. I got this one, a Waterford crystal. And I think this is Waterford for making an All-American team. This is an All-American Waterford crystal. The NFL alumni sent me, these are some of my favorite pieces. My official coin, and I am number what? What's the number there? Number 5,476. Member alumni. Whatever. Let's see here. Oh, this is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever showed you guys this. See this NFL alumni one? Mark Gastineau gave me this. Check this out. This is a gift from Gastineau. Mark Gastineau gave me this. 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year coin that the league sent him when he won his second MVP or his second Defensive Player of the Year. And Gastineau right there. Mark gave me this. New York Jets. This was an item that was given to him from the NFL alumni when he won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. It's a pretty cool one, too. Of course, these. Let's see here. My ACC championship ring from Maryland. My first national championship ring from Miami. My second national championship ring from Miami. And my NFL alumni ring. for being an NFL alumni, man. All those things were sent to me. Here's some of my favorite. Jim Kelly gave me this. Thanks, Steve. Thank you. Jim Kelly gave me these. Jim Kelly gave me these hurricane like darts. Crazy. Oh, wait, one more thing. No, that's nothing. Yeah. Those Waterford crystals weigh a lot. And that Tiffany crystal. That Tiffany crystal is about, thing's worth about 10 grand. Yeah, I mean, that, over the years. By the way, this is one of my favorites too. I show you this all the time. My Dick Allen baseball. Anything else? I got a bunch of stuff in there. I got a here. This is crazy. But they sent me these. Here's my football card. Or one of them. I don't have my Bucks football card, but here's one of my football cards. When I was in the CFL. Here's the back. This is a mug picture. Yeah. Guy sent me a whole pack of these things. Ugh. I got more shit around here. I find more things. I found this yesterday. So this was me in high school. Stanford Catholic High School, third year varsity letter for participating. So it was a 3-year letterman. Actually, I thought I was a 4-year, but that's all right. It's like the names even coming off. Let's see here. Angry. Hey, right. What's your most valued Ricky card? Oh man. I got a ton of that stuff over here. I don't think I've ever showed you guys this stuff. Hold on here. I don't think I've showed you this. It's another Leroy Selman signed. These are all my contracts that I've ever signed. There's Jimmy. Was a great ride. Great run. Bobby V. I got a boatload of things in here. All kinds of stuff. Massive. I don't know. My collection, my aunt always worries about it because my collection is probably, with my rings and stuff, pretty good. Pretty stuff. Yeah. Let's see here. I lost in the flood, but I had a decent collection. Was really bummed about losing my game-worn signed boat. Wow. Dude, that would have been big dough. A Bo Jackson signed jersey. I mean, dude, that's great. Jimbo, Dan Orlovsky says Ty Simpson is the number 1 quarterback in the draft over Mendoza. It's a crazy take. Well, know this. Always remember something, Jim. When these guys are talking like that, ask yourself this. Who represents him? Who's in his ear? How much is ESPN trying to dictate a player because somebody is doing something to sponsor Dan Orlovsky? all that stuff now, you got to be careful about what, like I told you about Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper supports agents who support his website. Do you understand that? All the people that support Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper's website. Let me show you something here. Again, Mel Kiper's been doing this shit forever. Even before Gary Ricard died, he was being investigated by the FBI. Let's see here. Mel Kiper. I don't know if he still has the site anymore. Because Kiper, yeah, I think it's melkiper.com. It is. Here's his website. Oh, it's private now. Okay. Well, people who support the website, he promotes them. Okay. And all the people that support him, he gets money from those guys. So he promotes them. Here's what used to happen and why that's relevant. You're not going to manipulate the first and second round. So watch when Kiper does this. Check this out. So here's what Kiper does. So Gary Ricard used to have a lot of connections into North Carolina. So there's a dude, remember Robert Quinn? Eagles made a play for him when he was in Chicago. Well, what he did was when he came out of college, or guys like this, say a guy's a 5th round, 6th round by Bledsoe, a 6th round guy. Well, Gary Ricard would call Mel Kiper and go, I need this guy juiced up. Well, he would pimp him enough, and one of Gary Ricard's guys would get drafted in the 3rd round. He'd be overdrafted. More signing bonus money, more money in the pocket of the agent, Gary Ricard. And then Gary Ricard would send the money over, some money over, to Mel Kiper's website. And he would sponsor the website. That's how they funneled the money, according to the FBI. Gary Ricard died mysteriously prior to the investigation being completed, and Kiper was off the hook. So Mel Kiper is not with great integrity when it comes to covering a draft. Yeah, it's like a pyramid scheme. I'll call you up. A guy's a 5th round pick. Say he's a 5th round talent. Kiper used to juice his ass up into being a 2nd and 3rd rounder. The agent would make great money. The kid would flop, but the agent still got the signing bonus money. And the signing bonus money, Kiper would get money on his website. Yeah. Mike Mayock, all them guys, they did that shit. She says a lot of these younger generations will never. Bo Jackson's greatness was just without a doubt one of the greatest of all time. He's the greatest athlete I've ever seen. Him and Dion, and I would say Herschel during my time. Those 3 guys were probably the best athletes I've ever seen. Okay. Yeah, you can hear it on the website. You can stream it. Or you can, it's a radio show. So you can go over to my X account, click on the, News Talk Florida, and you can hear it in the morning and hear the show if you want. It's on 10 to 1 Eastern time. So, yeah, we do that. It's going by the way, they got great word from Arbitron today that, the show's kind of changed the market. So it's been great. Guys, I appreciate you very much. Thank you again. Please hit the like button on the way out. We will see you tomorrow, going 2 to 6, and we'll see you on the flip side.